Yo, welcome back, everyone. How's everyone going? I'm so out of practice with live streaming. It felt a little bit too easy to set up, so I'm suspicious, but hope everyone's good. Let us know in the chat if you're here and watching the game tonight. Carlton the Cats, good game, very good game, with a pretty big potential influence on the top half of the ladder. Cats are kind of bleeding at the moment. But it's good to be here. We got 6 in the chat. Chuck a like on the stream if you don't mind. Help us out from an algorithm point of view. That would be hot. It's good to be back. Carlton's orange is it used to just be orange socks that they'd wear. Now they've got the orange number and like orange shoulders as well. Rogie's in the chat. Welcome, mate. It is time to cook. Like the family pig. He's in the chat. Welcome, mate. It's good to have you. Good to be back. Good to be back. Oh, who's everyone tipped? Who've you boys tipped? I tipped Carlton, but I don't know. Danger's back, isn't he? So there seems to be a real correlation with Dangerfield playing and Geelong playing well. So we'll see. But I have tipped the Blues. Tracy Smallwood, welcome. This is Go Blues. Hello, unbranded. I don't know who I'm supporting, actually. I feel kind of neutral in this. It is 10:30 in the morning here in England, which is a nice time. I'll be streaming at 4 a.m. on Sunday as well. He says got the Cats. Rogie went the Blues. Would like to get it wrong. That makes sense, Rogie. That makes sense. How's everyone been going since the last live stream? That is a great goal from De Koning of the Carlton variety. Wow. That was out of the ruck, wasn't it? His brother watches on and gives a wry smile. He's been great this year, De Koning of the Tom variety. Very, very good. Very impactful player. A little bit of a value add to what was already a strong Carlton side at the end of the year. Good start. God, he looks like his brother, doesn't he? Hey, Brooklyn. Good to have you. Welcome. How you doing? Who you tipping? Oh, that was a ripping goal. First blood for the Blues. I get back in the habit of adding some scores here. Oh, I didn't delete any of my last ones. Bear with me. And I will update the score shortly. Another clearance to the Blues. Cripps goes forward through from a handball from Walsh and a free kick. Is that Mackay? God, the jumper looks so weird, eh? No, it's Kerno. Hang on. I might update the score after he has a shot. Thanks, Brooklyn. Good to be back. Good to be back. Good to have you as well. Carlton by 23. Yeah, good tip. I can't actually remember the margin I put, but I think ballpark for that. Ballpark 23. Kerno lines up. About 35 out, 40 kick sets. Yeah, it's a goal. Charlie and his free kicks. That's true. All right. Carlton. Don't say I never spoiled you guys. Oh, right. That was bad. But I liked it. I liked it. It's what? How did you even come up with that? I'm going to try and find a way to promote this stream on Instagram using my various tools and techniques. What have I got for the Coleman? It does feel like it probably will be Curno, as boring as that is. God, you know, I kind of can't help but wish Waterman hadn't missed 2 games because in those 2 games he could easily be leading it. But I think Carlton will remain a strong side. I'm not too sure about Gold Coast and West Coast hasn't been a strong side to this point, but you wouldn't tip him. So I guess Kerno, as boring as that sounds, or Amadi could make a late charge. He's bolted up to 31, I think, with that last haul. Insta DM. Another shot on goal here coming up. So Rogie's made something for me. Very nice. You've clearly pre-canned this and put some time into it. I respect it. Sorry, Mr. Marnus comments. Got the Koning in my team late in minutes leading to the game. Happy you got a goal. Nice. Shit, I forgot to update my fantasy team. I was thinking about it literally all morning, and I still didn't go do it. It shouldn't bother me. I'm like right in the middle of this competition. Oh, another behind to the Cats. Oh, surely that didn't stay in. Nah. Oh, okay. I was going to say, impressive. I'm hoping Larky can crack the top 3 at least. Where is Larky at the moment? So back-to-back Coleman medalists. Yeah, 3 in a row. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I could be wrong. Just getting the Coleman stats up. Where is Larky? Larky is equal 7th with 28. So, yeah, certainly could get close to that top 3. Hogan's fallen away a little bit, obviously. He's 33 with Waterman there. And then Amadi in the top 5 now. Mackay obviously fallen away a little bit. Larky kicked 4 last week. What are kicking against us 5, I think, as well. So that's 9 in 2 weeks. Could happen. Definitely. Depends if North as well continue to improve. You'd think he'd get a little bit more looks at it. Geez, the Blues have been all over him. Oh, he's goal. Great start. We are the Navy Blues. I don't even like that song. I don't even like it. But yeah, fast start for the Blues here. Let me see if there's anyone in fantasy I could have done something about. So I got Max Holmes in this game. I got Dempsey still. Actually, I think he was the one I was kind of looking at downgrading. It was a missed opportunity, to be honest. Our tips are tied. Ugh, sounds like docking. And who we picked to win throughout the year. Oh, unlucky Brooklyn. I think it defaults to the away team as well, which in this case is the Cats. Dempsey was literally the one I was going to downgrade. Damn it. Oh, well. You snooze, you lose in this game. Oh, Tui. The Cats have 1E. Am I right? Fast start this game. 100th career goal. Never to be Geelong again. Yeah, what happened to the Cats? Asks he. I don't really know. It's kind of fallen away since I've been away for a start, but I don't know if they just got worked out or what. Been a big collapse. I don't know. I don't know how this game's going to go. They could come back, but I mean, if it keeps going the way it is, they could go 7-0 and miss finals. Saying that, I said that with Carlton last time this year. This time last year. Still waking up clearly. Yeah, I think we all did, to be fair. They were bottom 4. I did a finals race video that didn't have Carlton in it at round 15. So there you go. I don't have anyone joining me, I don't think. I did put out a few feelers, but it was fairly last minute. I actually don't know if anyone replied. Didn't even check. Nah, Druzy's working as well. Morning, Ben. Archie says, can you oil up at 30K? What does oil up mean? Is that a literal thing? I lather myself in oil? Yeah, I can do that. Sorry, Rogie. It was last minute. I'm already lewd. I shot you a message. So, a couple of goals. Hey, Graz is in the chat. I hadn't been told the Eagles sucked for a while, so it was good to hear that, man. Someone commented on my Eagles channel, like on I think it was like some sort of mid-season review I did for it. Someone just commented, "Who cares about West Coast?" It's just like, it's like I think you found the right channel, bro. Yeah, I am the MFN. Yeah, sorry about that. There'll be 2 delays. There'll probably be any delay that I'm getting on KO, and then the delay you're getting from the stream, which is annoying. So sorry about that. Ain't no way Eagles lost to North. Yeah, I saw that coming though. We'll be all right. That isn't the usual us, I'm convinced. We'll have hopefully have a full midfield in next week, I think. Other than Hewitt, who's only young anyway, but yeah, it's hard to see us beating Essendon or even getting close for it. Well, I tip us to get close, but it's hard to see us like with our midfield really giving them too much of a threat. I reckon it would just be more of a game of attrition. Good call, Ben. Yeah, I've dabbled with Watch AFL. I prefer KO because it gives me the shows, and as far as I can tell, Watch AFL doesn't, right? Sorry, just responding to a message from someone. Invite. There we go. Yeah, I didn't think we were going to flog you. I just had this sixth sense that West Coast were going to play poorly. Based on the previous 2 weeks, we looked a bit tired. And then, yeah, North midfield chopped us up. This is a good play from Carlton here. They do have it on Watch AFL. Now, that is interesting, Ben. That is interesting. And I didn't know that. I thought in like as recently as like 2022 when I traveled and I watched a game, I got it for a month. I don't remember the shows being there, but I'll take your word for it. G'day, Hunsy. Good to have you. My precious Pookie. What? So weird. For the first time in 5 years, I've tipped North. That's not a bad tip here. I was tempted. There's a few iffy games this round. Like I'm not sure about that game, and I tipped GWS over Sydney. That's going to probably be wrong. And Brisbane over Port looks like a decent bet. Oh, we got someone in the chat. So welcome.
Hola.
You get a fresh haircut?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, perfect. I can't quite hear you speak.
I'm speaking.
Okay, you're a little bit quiet for me.
Let
us know in the chat if he's quiet for everyone else. I'll look at my GWS with their Elite Sydney Derby kit. That's true. How are you, Rogie?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Good to be streaming again. It's been a couple of months.
Yeah, yes. You've been out.
I think the last stream I did was actually I'll double check that. But I feel like the last thumbnail I made might have been like round 2. That can't be right, could it? That cannot be right. It is round 2. What the hell? That's poor. That's poor by me. That was West Coast GWS.
Is it round 14 now? Was it 15?
Yeah, it's 15 now.
15 now, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you are very quiet for me. Oh, no. Everyone's saying that he's loud, and it's me that can't hear you that well. That's weird.
All right.
Very weird. But yeah, if we just double confirm that, everyone's hearing Rogie pretty well.
Ooh,
Overstimulated now. I've got to update the score.
Feeling
So how's it been a Pies fan at the moment?
It's been about as usual, heart pumping.
Yeah,
Again.
True. That last game was insane, man.
Yeah, I was home alone watching it just by myself.
Yeah,
on the TV. I was just first half. I was not enjoying it at all. As you wouldn't for it.
I'll bet.
In the second half, I was I was pacing up and down all the time because when I'm by myself watching the footy, I pace all the time.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Can't sit still. It's the ADHD.
What were you thinking at half time?
I was thinking there's no chance, but there's a chance.
Yeah.
It's like if it was any other, it's because it's Collingwood. I'm never putting us out. But at the same time, it was 48 points at halftime?
Yeah, I think it was 48 at half and then 55 not long after that.
54, yeah.
North got the first goal of the second half.
Yeah, after the third, I was like, if we get the first goal, I reckon we can come back. It's North. And then they got the first goal. I was like, no, we're feeling it. And then we kept going and coming. I was like, even the last quarter, I'm like, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Absolutely nutty. Probably North's best performance of the year. You'd think, even though they lost, there's something quirky about that. But I think to get 8 goals in front of Collingwood and only lose by a point is probably more impressive than the week before.
Yeah, it was
great. It's probably a bit more heartbreaking though.
Bit stinky. Opposition.
Yeah. Ben Parsons says Fox Footy shows all of them are there. Midweek tackle. Which one's that? I know first crack and 360 and bounce. I don't know midweek tackle. True footy, more like false basketball. That's harsh, Graz.
Wow.
Do you watch any particular footy shows, Rogie?
I watched the bounce, not the bounce. Which one's the bounce? Is the comedy one, isn't it?
I think that is that Dunstall? Or is that
Dunstall? I hate that one.
Yeah, Dunstall, yeah.
It's like I don't like that one, man, because it's the first one before first crack, and I want to hear first crack because it's actually kind of statistical kind of stuff.
Yeah,
a bit more in depth as opposed to the bounce, which is just pure being dumb.
Yeah, I'll just say good day to Nyasha. Welcome, mates. Good to have you. I don't think I've actually watched First Crack, but I feel like I've seen bits, and that's got like Lee Montagna on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, Lee Montagna.
Yeah. So that seems more my vibe. I've always been a fan of On the Couch. It doesn't always get a good rap, but I don't know. The way they analyze footy is kind of like the way I like to think about it too.
I really like On the Couch when Gary Lyon's not there.
See, I like him on there. I know that I'm like the only
bloke who
doesn't.
I don't really mind him. I was just like he's
purely as a football analyst. Like I think he's okay.
Yeah, like I know I forget. It's like a statistical thing where like it's like a diagram, whatever, where it's like defense versus offense and like which teams are in the window. But he puts that through. It's like that's the be all and end all of all stats.
I do agree with you there. There's just points for and against, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
a bit of what I say is right.
Yeah.
And you just know, like I think he puts it across as someone like he came up with. You just know that's probably not the truth.
Yeah. Well, I think as well, he also started showing it. He started showing that at like round 4, and it's like, well, if you've played the 3 bottom 6 sides, of course you're going to be in the premiership window. Midweek tackles some of the journalists like John Ralph and others talking shit. Yeah, right. See, Footy Classified is like the worst football show I've ever seen.
I can't stand Footy Classified.
Oh my God. Just no. It's just funny, so much friction as well. They're always like fighting.
Yeah. It's like they cut each other off all the time as well.
Yeah. My cortisol levels are just exploding watching that show. I'm just like,
the only person on the show who's like comes off across well is probably Matthew Lloyd.
Yeah. Oh, Acres lining up for a shot here.
I get fucked.
Yeah. Grace is saying, am I a Sigma male or a Giga Chad? What is actually, I think I know what a Sigma male is, but I don't, is a Giga Chad just a douche? Like, what is the difference?
Everyone knows Jesse's a beta male.
I'm a Sugma.
So, wow. 7 wolves.
Hunsy says, show love to defenders and get Backchat more clout. Yeah, I think Backchat's great. Hunsy, I've seen you comment like things on Backchat, like you'll get comments read out. I can tell you're a big fan, Hunsy.
Is Backchat the one with Schofield?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he does the Shelter Footy cast with Mark Reddings over in Perth. It's a pretty good show, actually. It's pretty WA focused. They try not to be, but then like naturally the Eagles and Dockers segment is bigger. Yeah. But I suppose that's like Mandrews sometimes. So
I find like WA media is very self-contained. Generally.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
And stuff.
Pretty well represented on like things like YouTube and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of WA content creators. Not necessarily huge, but like a lot of Fremantle ones and medium-sized ones. So it gets a good representation. I don't really see the same things coming out of Adelaide and certainly not Queensland or New South Wales.
Yeah. There's like, I see barely any stuff about footy stuff from like Adelaide.
Yeah.
So that's close. It's
just
a
like
place.
The pair, and I've seen some Crows stuff, but yeah.
It's a born land for born people who say the wrong way to say Palmer.
The wrong way to say what?
Palmer.
Oh, yeah. I say Palmy. Is that wrong?
It's wrong, yeah.
Yeah.
You should feel bad about yourself.
Already do, buddy. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, nah, nothing. I just pressed the testing audio button because you're still a bit quiet for me.
Yeah.
And it just started playing this weird music. That's all good. Is there any other way I can do this? Nah, that's fine. Cool.
What's to go with Stengel and his contract? There's a lot of talk about him going elsewhere.
I've been meaning to do another trade update and really deep dive that. So yeah, what's he been slightly under? I haven't updated the score. Slightly under offered. Like, was it 700K?
Yeah.
Whereas most players these days are renewing on massive contracts.
Yeah, I see what's fan. Apparently, there's he's spoken to Ross Lyon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, according to what's his face? This Channel 7 journal. Used to work for AFL.com. Mitch Cleary.
Oh yeah. I'll just look at the chat. The David Wirrapunda and Sean McManus interviews are the funniest. I love the Wirrapunda one. Yeah, Scully on Backchat will, amongst a million other things, he will interview like former Eagles and current Eagles and Dockers as well. There's some good ones. Lewis Jetters was also really good. So funny. Just funny blokes.
I'm sorry, Archie. Jesse's already traded Barras for a pack of chips. What was it? From McRae, Ash Johnson, Ed Allen, and the third.
Yeah, we negotiated that on Instagram. It's done. I don't think Barras will go anywhere. Because he's contracted. And I think West Coast, if it came to that, would probably be dickheads about it.
Like most of the time.
Come on, man. we don't really lose players too often, so
no.
It may be a case that like
definitely not like star players.
Like Barras might leave or want to leave. Here we go. Oh.
To be honest, the last star player I remember I can think of for you guys leaving was what's his face? Judd.
Yeah, so we lost a few around that. He was probably the one we wanted to keep the most, obviously. But
no, what do you mean, Judd? You want to get rid of that guy?
Yeah,
he's no good at footy.
Yeah, I thought we'd rebuild 12 months after winning a flag. Yeah, I think we lost a few SA boys. Ebert, Lysett, and Rioli.
I mean, when I say big
left,
decent players, I don't mean Lysett.
What's that say?
You including Lycett's a bit generous. Yeah.
Well, he was good at the time. Like he literally left after the grand final, so he was a premiership player and then left. And I think we wanted to keep him, so I'll kind of count that one. We had a few players leave for more opportunity. That would be like Rosa, Scott Selwood, Kobe Stevens, but I don't think we really cared about those ones.
Man, Archie, that's what I've been saying. This guy keeps thinking Geelong like a prick.
Yeah. I do keep saying that. Well, to be honest with you, maybe this is not like rock solid, but I have a friend in Geelong and she said she met Bailey Smith's mum at the pub and she was talking about how he's looking to buy a house in Geelong.
So, a friend of a friend.
yeah. She's a very good friend though, so it's not too far removed from me.
Yeah.
But so if we take those to be true, if he's looking at houses in Geelong, that's just something. But obviously, things can change.
Good old Pubehead kicked a goal.
Nice, Pubehead.
Look at him. Look at his hair.
That's
Can't
it.
tell me this. Man, I know it was really good, but I don't like her now.
Yeah,
it just annoys me.
Yeah, too handsome.
It's just like, you may be too good at footy, but
yeah,
I reckon you can chill out a bit.
Yeah. The Saints are hoeing out how many people they're going after. Yeah, I feel like that's a very St Kilda thing, right?
Yeah,
but that's the way you got to be, I think.
The amount of times I've seen us linked to someone, I was like, there's no chance of that happening. Like Barassa, I was like, there's no chance that gets done. Because even if like he wanted to leave, it was like, how do we get that done with what picks we have?
Exactly, yeah. Which is getting back to that question, I suppose. One of the biggest reasons I don't think he'll go, because if West Coast did say, okay, we could use some draft picks, so let's make this happen. The two reported clubs are the Bulldogs and Collingwood, neither of whom hold a first round draft pick, and neither of whom are going to have a juicy pick anyway. So it just doesn't make sense, I don't think. Same thing with Bailey Smith to Collingwood, to be honest.
I think Bailey Smith's worth a lot less than Barras, to be fair.
Yeah. I suppose
the fact that he's coming off an ACL, and before that he was on a poor season.
Yeah, and out of contract. Okay, yeah,
out of contract. And he probably wants to leave. Whereas Barras is kind of like other clubs want him.
Yeah.
Man, Finn McRae.
Yeah, Finn McRae.
Man, I was talking about so much in preseason.
I know.
I mean, he's just not turned up at all.
We've all done it.
Who needs that? I got Harvey Harrison now.
Yeah. So in the preseason, I did a video like every club's breakout star, and I specifically looked at players. I didn't want to pick like a 19-year-old. I wanted to pick a guy who was like 23, 24. So when we got to West Coast, it's just like fuck all players in that age bracket. And I had the choice between Waterman and Petricelli. And I was like, Waterman's just had a bad illness and he's lost 10 kilos. I'll go with Petricelli. And I got roasted for it. And then sure enough, Waterman has the fucking season he's having.
Waterman's he's like all Australian. Pretty much halfway the year, you probably lock him in for all Australian.
Yeah, I would agree with that as the third tall. I think that's fair.
I think him being a little bit shorter does end of the year, I think that will help him. There's especially if he's a couple goals behind, you a few more talls. Yeah,
I think missing games as well. That's a factor as well. If he's 33 but from 2 less games, his goals kicking rate is still there.
Because I did notice before they were start talking about mid-season that there's a 16 game limit you have to play to be Australian.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you have to play 16 games for the season to be considered.
That's fair. I didn't actually know there was a hard rule for it.
Yeah, they put out actually a really good video on YouTube for the mid-year meeting for the Australian. It was pretty much the meeting of it, and just the video of them chatting about who their locks are and who their watches are.
Really, I didn't see that. Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah, it's a 2-part video where they're going for pretty much someone who's there gets part of the panel, whatever, gets asked who do you think for this team is Australian potential from what we've seen so far.
Yeah,
but Duggan got mentioned as a watch for that for you guys.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Is it on the AFL YouTube?
I'm not sure. I think it's on maybe on Fox Footy.
Oh, yeah. Damn, that would be a good one for me to watch, for sure. Somebody said Jezza was robbed. Yeah, I thought he took a mark a minute ago. Atkins? Or is it Jai Clark?
Bro, Isaac Quinn gets me bricked up as well.
Yeah, good looking man, am I right? No, I meant
got me edging to the keeper.
Edging to the keeper.
Bro, actually speaking facts, I hate always. I don't like a lot of calm players, but always like annoys me probably more than Gurnow. Just he celebrates like he's won the game after kicking like one goal for the entire game.
Yeah,
and like he's like in that game was like shoots a massive 3-pointer, 43 points down.
Yeah. It reminds me of when Frederick in the Derby did a backflip when there were 7 goals up, and we had 16 players on the field. It's like, shut up.
With the Cohen's going up together. Bit of brotherly love there.
He asked me, what do I think of Elliot Yeo's 3-year deal? Yeah, unconventional for us in particular, but maybe a sign of the times, signing a player to multi-year contracts past 30. And he's also had a horrible injury run. So it's questionable. But if that was the price that we required to keep him, I don't think there's too much opportunity cost. I think we're going to have no trouble culling our veterans around him. So,
like, Yo is really important for you guys. He's like your leader, basically. Like, when he plays well, you guys kind of follow a bit more.
No, I agree with that. It's just a case of whether his body breaks down.
Yeah. That's the thing. I imagine in the contract you would have like stipulations saying like he gets injured to something like that, he comes off into something like that. I imagine.
Yeah, I don't think the money is a concern for us. Like, I think with where we're at, we're going to be shedding players, so we're actually going to. I think we're going to have spare cash. So it's probably just the list spot, really. So the list spot in 2027 will be his final year. Like, is he adding value then? I don't know.
Yeah, like imagine similar to like how Nick Nui ended because he had like a 1-year contract. But like, it's a bit different, but he didn't play at all that year, and retired.
That sucked. That really sucked. He says, "I wish we got Yo." Yeah, seems like a few clubs were. There was a bit of an interesting theory that, like, in the media, there was so much talk about Yo leaving. Like, the suggestion was like, is his manager probably putting it out there to get a good deal from West Coast? And then somebody also came up with the theory, maybe West Coast is also leaking this info because then fans will be relieved when he signs, not disappointed about the 3-year contract. So it's like a big PR stunt. I thought that was actually a pretty clever theory.
Probably not, though, I imagine. The clubs just don't like shit coming out, really.
Yeah.
I know there was actually a recent thing about Bobby Hill in like Western Australian radio said like, oh, he wouldn't mind going to WA.
Yeah, what was that about?
Oh, it's like finally Bobby Hill was like annoyed about it.
Yeah,
like he's in the midst of re-signing for a bit more money. Like he's on pretty cheap for what he's just putting out.
Yeah,
considered, especially with the new how much players' pays are going up.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he just requested a trade to Melbourne 2 years in a row, so it'd be weird for him to leave. That'd be Lockie Neal areas when they talked about him going back to Freo.
Yeah. I almost messaged you the same before. Like, I don't like it when people link my players to leave. It's funny. It's only funny when it happens to other clubs.
Yeah, I feel like the fake news trade rumors have really exploded the last 3 years, maybe. Just so much crap. Because the clicks and engagement is so massive on trade rumors. It's huge. Like, I see it.
Trade radio is like the amount of crackpot viewers that come in on doing that when that's on.
Yeah. Everyone just like gets back into it. Like, it's bigger than grand final week for clicks on articles, according to Tom Morris. So it's crazy. So yeah, by extension, I think there's probably a lot more bullshit out there that people will just post for the clicks.
Yeah.
That being said, I also have this thought that like I think there's a lot more that goes on than we hear about. Heaps of stuff that almost happens. Like Shuey was saying in his podcast that at the end of 2017, the Eagles got really close to getting Zaharakis, and nobody reported on that. It's just like a random deal that almost happened in the background.
Yeah. I do find it funny going like such big footy and Reddit stuff like that, seeing like people's theories of like what trades that could happen.
Yeah.
Like what players we keep pick up. I saw one on there was Collingwood just Reddit. And it was about Logan McDonald because it was like there was a link about how he's like last minute thing could possibly happen, which I honestly could just be his manager pumping up for more money last minute.
Yeah, surely
as well.
Yeah.
But Pies fan growing up, but I would love him, but probably not gonna happen. But this guy on Reddit said like it was a freeway trade, and basically Sydney would give up Logan McDonald and pick 19, and in return they would get Reece McInnes, pick 31, pick 41, and pick 45. Like they get reams in that trade.
Far out. Oh my God. I don't even know if you take Logan McDonald out of that scenario, whether that would still get done. Like if it's just 31, 35, 41 and Reef, I don't know if that would upgrade to 19. It probably would, but it's close.
I was doing some just for fun last night when I was bored. I was doing some redrafts.
Nice.
Just going for all the years. I went back all the way to 2008, I think. There was some really good drafts, but some really bad ones. I remember.
Who'd you take and pick one in 2008?
2008. I have to remember which one was that.
I'm trying to remember. Was Beams that year?
2008. I think it was 2009.
I want to say Hanbury.
Nui.
Nat Nui, Hurley.
I took side bottom.
It would actually be kind of close to the top. Side bottom.
Side bottom pick one, I think.
I think Tyrone Vickery. I'd imagine he was close to the top.
Yeah.
Michael Walters.
I think I did Nat Nui pick 2.
Yeah. Jack Watts pick 1.
Yeah.
Phil Davis was that draft too.
Yeah, Phil Davis, yeah.
So wait, sorry, who did you say was pick 1?
Pick 1 and the actual draft was Jack Watts.
But but who did you redraft?
I would have gone side bottom.
Come on.
I think 300 plus games. He's like by far like the most games out of anyone on that.
Yeah, that's true.
PSU. Plus, he was like 1 year he was literally like 1 second in the Brownlow. In the year where Tom Mitchell, if he gets suspended, he wins it.
Yeah,
all Australians in there.
I'd
just
go
longevity. I think Nick Nats, if it wasn't less injury, a bit less injuries in his career. I think
I suppose there's 2 ways to look at it. Are you redrafting for the career that they have, or do you redraft as though time starts over?
I went for the career that they had.
You'd think like if Collingwood got Jack Watts rather than that era Melbourne, like he might have ended up pretty good.
Yeah. Laptop.
Tim English still hasn't signed yet. Yeah, what does he do with that? Why is English not signed? I really don't think he's coming to West Coast personally.
He's having a down year, English. Definitely not up to the level he was last year. So I think the new ruck rules have kind of hurt him a bit.
Yeah.
Because he's really good around the ground, but like in the ruck contest, he still isn't very good.
That's true.
Compared to a lot of top tier rucks. I remember in the Australian side, like Darcy Cameron was mentioned as a potential as a watch, which I thought was interesting.
He's had a good year.
I think they mainly said that because he's like the number 1 contested mark for ruck.
Yeah.
And as well as I think he's tied with contested possession on average with Gorn, but I think he's like clear number 1 for like intercept marks.
Okay. No, he's definitely had a good year.
Cherry got mentioned as well in that Australian meeting as well.
Cherry's been outstanding too.
He's been in my fantasy team all year, basically. Eventually, I got to give him to Gorn. I still don't have Gorn in fantasy.
I don't even remember who I have. I think I've got Rowan Marshall and Cherry.
Yeah, I got Rowan Marshall and Cherry. Yeah. In
Bailey
Supercoach,
Williams has been disappointing.
R2 has been destroyed.
Yeah.
I flipped that so many times. I had Jordan Sweet there at one point.
Wow.
I had not Ned Moylan R2. He was R3 at one point. But like I had Rowan Marshall. I traded him out because he was shit, and then he came good a bit, and then he went shit again.
Yeah.
And now I got
I wish I'd
English.
gotten Grundy.
Yeah, I had Grundy to start, and he traded him out because he was shit for like the first like month of the year.
He had an early buy too, so I stayed away from players like that. So I didn't go Gorn or Grundy. I got Rowan Marshall.
I also think Grundy is like making a case to beat Gorn for All Australian at this point. His last few weeks have been like really good. Like he had 30 touches the other week.
Yeah, I think he made a case for a second ruck.
Yeah, I mean they've done that before with Gorn and Grundy.
Yeah,
I wonder if like them playing together at Melbourne and seeing how that didn't work at all would have any impact on the selection. I know they don't ever pick it based on like an actual game. But I wonder if that's like a fall in the back of their heads.
Yeah. If Cherry beats Gorn, he has to make the 40 squad. Cherry has lost all year. Grundy clear one.
Yeah, I got that draft 2008 up. Number 3, I had Dan Hanbury.
Yeah, Hanbury's a good shout.
If he,
you have a career than Shuey though.
Yeah,
I'm just going to throw Eagles players at you.
I mean, it's like Shuey has, I think, 1 All Australian.
Yeah,
maybe, he might even have.
Well, how many did Hanbury have?
Yes, he had like 3, I think.
Fair enough. Maybe it was just my memory failing me there because
my memory of Hanbury, like I had to like look into what these players are doing, like on their Wikipedia page, just like a quick look.
Yeah.
So my memory of Hanbury when I really started paying attention to football was him being like injury prone as shit at St Kilda.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now that you said that, Hanbury was pretty outstanding at Sydney and probably better than Shuey ever was.
Yeah.
Now,
to be honest, Shuey's not next on like next either.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, the only reason Shuey came to mind is because I was like similar kind of midfielder, not because I was thinking he must be in the top 3.
Because I had a hard time splitting a lot of these players. I think number 4 had Luke Bruce.
Yeah.
Number 5 was Rory Sloane.
Cool. Number
6 was Luke Shuey.
I'll take that. I think I agree with that ranking. Yeah. I wouldn't have Shuey ahead of those boys. Nyasha points out Shuey has no All Australians. Yeah, that's right. He made the squad in 16.
Like obviously, I got Norm Smith to his name.
Yeah, it was like the best grand final performance in 10 years, or best finals performance in 10 years, and then Dusty in 20, and then Petrarca in 21 were both better statistically. Anyway,
you say Dusty happened.
Yeah, 2020, and then Petrarca in 21. I think Petrarca might be my favorite Norm Smith performance, other than obvious like bias, but like in terms of unbelievable performance, him and Dusty are the top 2 for sure.
Yeah. Obviously, Bobby Hill just makes me smile every time I see him. But
yeah, another great one.
Bobby Hill's the light of my life. I can say that.
Yeah, no, he was unreal. Melbourne is going down a cliff. They have an aging midfield, says Nyasha.
Is the midfield the aging, or is it just like not performing? Because like they have a lack of depth in their midfield, I think.
So I would agree that sometimes one is not causing the other. Like it is aging, but it's probably not the reason it's failing. But I mean, Viney's 29, turning 30, I reckon. I think he's a year younger than me. Petrarca's 28 this year, and Oliver's a year younger than that. So like, there's still not.
Yeah, like you wouldn't say like 20, 27, 28, 29 is like Asian midfield, really.
Yeah, I mean, aging in a sense. Well, I suppose everyone's aging, right? So technically, he's right. I think
North Melbourne's midfield's pretty Asian.
Yeah, technically it is aging very quickly. I think once Gorn goes, they'll be like the window might.
Yeah. But they also have like no ruck cover basically.
Oh no, yeah, they got
no
young ruck.
decent. Like the next ruck is like Will Varell.
Yeah, Will Verrill, yeah. And he was
They got,
great in
like-
Step Brothers, but he's not a great ruck.
Yeah. Bloody our boy matched him pretty well in the VFL. Illaru Smith, Big Roo,
Oh yeah, the man with the
man at the
website.
website. I
That is
still
so
love the
weird.
website. It's
Good
like the
update,
ruckman
still.
of the future.
How old is he?
Like 20.
Yeah. Ugh. He's still kind of a kid, so give him a break for it.
In ruck
It is
years,
weird.
he's like 5.
Yeah, true. In ruck years, yeah. In dog years, he's 140.
Oh, rats. I just saw this. We got a category B rookie that we were in talks with. It's Alex Condon, who's like a basketball player.
Oh yeah, I remember that name. I feel like he might have West Coast were into him at one point.
Yeah, I think we're in talks with him now. I mean, we definitely got his signature. Like, if he were to come to AFL, we would get him. But I think we're actually in talks about it now. I think that's all.
Yeah. Now that I
'Cause he-
think about it, I think I remember hearing it that Collingwood was the forefront, but the Eagles were at least interested. I think that's what I remember hearing.
He's a big boy too. 212 centimeters.
212. That would
I
make
think
him
that might be the tallest.
player
Yeah, tallest player ever.
Crazy.
Guess we no more big cocks, just little cocks now.
Yeah.
Something you be used to, Jesse.
Story of my life, yeah. Josh Kennedy 2016 was unbelievable, says he. I agree. He probably should have won the nom there. But they do tend to give it to the winner.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys. Right now, the top 10 of that draft, I had 7 was Michael Hurley.
Yep.
Number 8 was Michael Walters.
I was going to say Walters would be close, yeah.
Number 9, Dan Beams. He wasn't actually as good as I thought he was. Like, I know he was really good at Brisbane. He was close to a Brandon one year, but he only got like maybe 1 or 2 Australians. All Australians.
Yeah, okay.
And number 10 is Daniel Rich.
Yeah. Interesting. No
Couple more
room for
players in that
Jordan
draft
Jones
were
at 53, 51.
It was Jack Siebel, Phil Davis, Hayden Ballantyne, Tom Rockcliffe, and Liam Shields were the other 5 that I
Phil
had.
Davis was probably the one I'd probably would have thought would be higher.
Yeah, I think he was just like he was pretty good like in the late half of his career. I think his first half he wasn't fantastic. At the same time, it was like no All Australians either.
Yeah, that's a good point. I do remember him probably when I think of Phil Davis being good. I think of like 2019, the year they made the grand final, and maybe like a little bit before that. But you're right, it was pretty late. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good ranking.
So what the 2009 draft was, the top 3 is possibly one of the best top 3s of like ever.
Oh yeah, so you got Fife and Dusty that is gone. The next one,
Yeah, gone. Yeah,
yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, maybe 2001 might have that covered, but 2009 might. I don't know. Maybe
it was 2001. Obviously, was that Gary Ablett?
Ablett, Judd, and Hodge might be the third best. I don't know off the top of my head. There was more.
Swan
there
was
like
2001 too. Dan Swan was not 2001 as well.
Oh yeah, he was too. So yeah, there you go. So you Judd and Ablett versus Dusty and Fife. Probably go Judd and Ablett, but
to be honest, they got like one more Brownlow.
Yeah,
and Dusty and Fife. Because Gary Ablett and Judd both have 2, don't they?
Yes. Yeah.
You also look at like I think Gawn is better than Hodge.
Yeah.
I think because I look at Gawn, I think like it's possibly, I think at this point the best ruck like ever. Like he's got like 7 All Australians. He's still on track for like another one.
Yeah, just dominant. How many did Cox have? Did he have 6? I mean, I don't expect you to know that, but I feel like Cox was probably another shout for that.
I forget what's Cox's first name. Dean Cox, that's it.
Dean, yeah. Swollen. This is his first name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, Colonel.
Sorry, Luke. Luke's saying this. Thought the stream was about to be about the game. Yeah. No, we are watching. We just got sidetracked. It's a bit of a shootout. Was that?
6 Australians are right. Dean Cox.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought so. I feel like I did a video on that recently. Yeah. So the Cats had a bit of a response there. They get within 7 points, I reckon, and then Cats have gotten a couple back. So sorry, the Blues. I have Ollie Dempsey in my fantasy team still, but he's actually, the last time I looked, he was outscoring Sam Walsh.
I don't think I have any of his players in my fantasy team.
Maybe it was a good thing I didn't downgrade Dempsey. Oh no, Walsh is now 47, Dempsey's 40,
No.
but for halfway through the second term, Dempsey being on 40, I'm happy with.
I've got no, Geelong or Carlton players in fantasy. I got Walsh in Supercoach.
Yeah.
Which hasn't been very good.
He had a few good games there, Walshy, where I was like, oh shit, this is Brownlow pace for a few weeks anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, like then I went travel.
His ball use has been pretty poor, which is holding back.
Yeah. O's just had a nice clearance. That was about a minute ago. I wonder how much time on ball he's getting.
What time are you on the game?
12:02.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Come on.
Okay, so Walsh actually has the most fantasy points on the field. Holmes is third and Dempsey's fifth. So I got 3 of the top 5. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. How good's Holmes been this year?
What's that, sorry?
Probably. How good Holmes have been this year?
Oh, yeah. One of the more improved players of the comp. Like we talked about Cherry, Nick Martin, Jake Waterman. There's a few out there.
Yeah.
Grundy.
Yeah, Grundy massively.
I want to say Rangan Miller, but I feel like Rangan Miller has just like been good, or like he was already good and just gotten a little bit better as he got older. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's definitely gotten better. I don't think it's quite as big of a jump.
Yeah, agreed.
Ooh, good mark.
Akers, powerful mark. Tom de Koning, more so recently. His season's been pretty good.
Yeah.
It's content ideas. So you got Cherry, Grundy, Waterman, Holmes, de Koning. Who's the biggest standout performer for Collingwood? Well, improved player for Collingwood.
Improved. I'm just thinking. I'm not sure any of our players have really been like so much better in terms of like the players who were already playing consistent footy last year.
Yeah.
But I think like what happened?
I think Dacos has gone up a level.
Yeah, I think it's it's gone up a level. But like it's not so much where it's like that big a jump. I think he was really good last year and he's become just a little bit more good.
Yeah.
Like I think like he's probably Brownlow at this point is coming down to him, Heaney, and probably Bond. Will probably have those.
And Warner probably. Warner and Heaney still in votes will be interesting, and Goulden even pops up as well.
But I think
if they win games heavily, then they might all get votes anyway. At the moment, they've only dropped one game. The percentage is 150.
I think what Heaney has been doing is like he hasn't really dropped any poor games.
You're right.
Like he's still been pretty good, even when other players have been like Warner or Goulden have had like a better game.
How
many games did Dangerfield play this year?
How many games did he play? I think he missed 6.
It's a big in for them, but at the same time, it's like at this stage in your career, you kind of don't really want Dangerfield to be a big in. Agreed.
That's why I'm kind of curious, like what there are other midfield rotations. I was going to mention Bose. He just got the ball in the back line.
Max, what's his name? Bruin out was like
true.
He's probably there in the midfield. Probably one of the better performances this year.
Which explains why they're probably heavily into Bailey Smith. you look at the young midfield. What does it look like next? You got Bruin, you got Clark, you maybe got Bowes, you got Atkins has probably still got a few years left. Guthrie's still got a few years left. I think they're like 30-ish. But Bailey Smith adds a different dynamic to that, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So 21 clearances to 10 Carlton's way, +6 inside 50s. Smashing them in uncontested ball and contested ball. Yeah, 152 disposals to 109. That's pretty one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, you would expect that from a Carlton side. It's probably one of their strengths compared to Geelong. It's probably their weakness.
Yeah, it's very true.
But I do know this in terms of like fantasy supercoach. Geelong are the easiest team to score against in the midfield.
There you go. Good point. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, especially with danger out.
Number 2 is Richmond.
Yeah. I feel like West Coast would rank pretty high as well.
Yeah, I think West Coast is like 3rd, to be honest.
Yeah, top 3, baby.
Gotta be top 3 in something.
Yeah. Oh, shudder to think what the fantasy scores were against us in round 15 at the SCG last year. I reckon Sheldrick bobbed up with 100. Fuck.
Ooh, dickhead.
So, yeah, long story short as well, with that stats profile, you'd think this game should probably be more one-sided.
Yeah.
I
think like Geelong's forward line kind of keeps them in it a bit.
Yeah.
It's probably another goal. Yeah. And he always goes to prick celebrating.
Yeah, he does, eh? I've never noticed that, but you're right. That was interesting.
Honestly, he's worse than Papley. At least Papley's good enough to get away with it, I reckon.
Fair point. Bon Heaney, the top 5 best performances halfway through a season ever. The only 3 better than them is Gaz. I don't know why I'm struggling to read that. I'm sorry. Interesting. Bont has been fantastic. He really has.
Yeah.
I think he's in the mix for a Brownlow. Like, it's still win it, like with a good second half of the year.
Just give Dacos, Heaney, and Bont a freeway tie.
I've been predicting a Brownlow tie for years.
Yeah.
I think I predicted Walsh and Dacos this year, but that's already out the window. Jeremy Howe's in this stream. Which one of us is Jeremy Howe? Is that you? I don't think it's
me. Because Jeremy has a beard.
Yeah, true.
You know what? I'll take it.
The Asher says, who's the next Jetta or Wangadeen Miller? I'm biased, but I think Jetta, but
which Jetta?
Yeah, Neville. Nah, Lewis.
Neville Jetta still doing some coaching at the Pies.
That's true, yeah.
He was playing for our VFL side last few years. None more. Right. Our VFL side sucks though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, all their injuries.
Oh, good point.
They're all coming out of the VFL.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, we had that last year. We had a.
If Bont doesn't win a Brownlow, that's a tragedy.
Agreed. How many MVPs has he won? I think he's won at least one. Or coaches' votes. The coaches' votes might be the one that I actually think is the most value.
I think honestly, Bont should probably have 2 by now. I think I reckon he should have won in 2021.
Yeah, that was the Wines won it. Hey,
and I think he probably should have won it last year as well. Over Neil. To be honest, neither of them will if Dacos plays a few more games, but whatever. I'm not salty.
Yeah.
I was thinking of awards. Like, we got 2 Mark of the Year contenders.
I know.
It's like, I saw they changed the prize this year. It's like 50K plus like a bunch of like Flyers points. And I was thinking like, whoever wins out of those 2, they owe the other one a holiday.
Yeah. Harley's been nominated for both, which I think is sick. I think he could win goal of the year.
Yeah.
That
I
one
think
against Melbourne, I
Bonds-
got a feeling that's going to win.
I got a feeling maybe Bonds a week or two ago. He's like 3 against Freo.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that one's
Yeah,
up
that was
there.
good too.
I still probably
Yeah.
have I don't know. I like both of them. There's different types of goals.
Mm.
Because I think like Bonds should probably have a goal of the year award anyway as well. Like
Yeah.
in his I think his debut year, he had a crazy one on the boundary when he was like broke through like 4 or 5 tackles.
Really?
And
Bontempelli?
that got they got beaten by like just a player going down like the wing, like a poor player, I think, bouncing like 4 or 5 times, just running down the whole length of the field.
Yeah,
It's
right.
impressive, but I think I reckon they contested breaking 4 or 5 tackles, crazy snap is a bit more impressive.
Mm. He says he has 2 goal of the years. Bontempelli. I didn't even know that.
I don't think he does. I think it was like he had a chance to get 1 and he didn't get it.
Mm. Bontempelli has 1 coach's award.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
So it was Butters last year, and the year before was Took and Clayton Oliver tied. Clayton Oliver won it outright the year before. And Neil
That's never robbed. Took Miller should have won it in 2022.
Mm.
Over Cripps, who should have never won it in the first place.
In the Brownlow?
Yeah, you got to wait for the loophole in the system.
What was the loophole?
It was like loophole if he got suspended. It was against Brisbane.
Oh, yes.
It was a hit, and then because they argued that they argued the wrong way in the tribunal.
Mm.
They made their own argument basically, even though as opposed to they weren't like contesting the fact that the action, it was like the legality of like the law basically.
Yeah.
And the wording of it that got him off.
Mm. Yeah, Asha asked, what do I think of West Coast staying in the waffle? Yeah, so just on that, you may or may not be aware, like the Eagles waffle side is the Eagles reserves, but only amateurs around that. It's not like a fully fledged waffle team.
Yeah.
So they're all like kids that like, they're like 20-year-olds and a few guys in their prime. But yeah, just basically the dregs. I say that respectfully, but like it can't compete as a waffle team. And then last year, like there were games where we just had our 2 Cat B rookies and the entire Ammos team play, and they lost by like 200 points. So we've recently recommitted for another 2 years to stay because this year's been a bit better. Hence Niasha's question. Yeah, I'm okay with it because I think it's been okay this year. We've won 3 games and we still have a lot of youngsters on the list.
Good
I would just prefer to see the rule change. Good mark, Henry.
Anyway, dog. Like I don't really hate Henry. I just find it funny to shit on him.
Yeah.
Just calling him mama's boy and stuff like
I
that.
almost just forget he played for Collingwood, eh?
Yeah. Like there was nothing in his draft, which I think was a pretty weak draft.
Mm.
It was 2020. I want to say 2020.
Yeah, 20 or 21. Yeah, I would say probably 20. Yeah. He would have done 2 years at Collingwood, I think.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah, that was a really poor draft.
Yeah, bad year for junior footy, obviously, and footy general.
Yeah. Still got Golden out of that draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like Henry as number 5 in that draft. I think Jamal McDonald Henry's number 4 actually.
Mm.
McDonald, Jamara, Gordon. Anyone's I would have above him.
Yeah, trying to think who else is in that draft. Oh, Luke Edwards.
Yeah. Max Holmes. That's probably another one.
That's a good point. Yeah, no, he's actually a gun. Yeah.
He's just coming to the season now, I think. It's probably give him a year or two whether this form is probably goes up a bit.
Yeah. The tools will start to really pull through, I think, as time goes on, like Phil Thorpe will probably,
Phil Fopp, yeah. I
rank
saw
highly
Phil
by
picture
him,
of
I
Phil
reckon.
Fopp lately. He's been jacked.
Mackay gets a big goal on half. Well, 3 minutes to go in the half, but still.
Man, I like Mackay better when he couldn't kick for shit.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
North had an absolute stinker with that draft.
Who did?
North taking Will
20.
Phillips at pick 3. 2020.
That was weird at the time. It wasn't even just
Yeah.
hindsight. At the time,
It's
everyone was like, really?
Let's just imagine North Melbourne right now with having Nick Larkey and Logan McDonald at the forward half.
Yeah. The GOAT at pick 3. Yeah. I remember because that was the one that Toomey fucked up his phantom. Well, that pick fucked up his phantom.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone was like, what?
Tom Powell's
he normally gets the top dozen pretty close. So
Tom Powell's a pretty decent player, I think.
Yeah.
I think Eddie Ford's definitely on the up.
Mm-hmm.
Probably needs to play a bit more footy, a few more years, and he'll earn a spot on that side consistently. Forward.
Yeah. Another forward entry here for Carlton.
I think Tom Powell needs to play a bit more midfield than he is.
Yeah. For my fantasy team for a start.
Yeah. I had him in Supercoach.
Yeah.
I traded him out because he was shit.
Yeah, we had a few good weeks there, and I think then got sidelined a bit. Or De Koning? Nah, not even close.
Man, I wish.
Wait, Logan McDonald told North not to select him. I've never heard that before. Is that right?
I wish Ollie Henry told us not to select him. That would be nice in advance. I say that, but he probably gets us Tom Mitchell.
Yeah, I was going to say, it kind of worked out, really.
Yeah. Tom Mitchell, the great man, talking to Vince Vaughn, of all people, lately.
Do you watch his podcast?
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah.
But I saw this thing about him having a chat with Vince Vaughn a few weeks ago.
Tom Mitchell did?
Vince Vaughn? Yeah.
I didn't see that.
He was talking to Vince Vaughn.
That's sick.
I think it was at some event or something, but
yeah.
Because he was wearing a suit when he was talking to him, was on the stage, but
yeah. That's so random. I always wonder what it'd be like for these AFL players who are kind of celebrities in Australia to go overseas and hang out with NBA players, because you do see it occasionally. They do somehow connect, and I don't know. Do they try and convince these elite athletes overseas? No, I'm a big deal. I'm a big deal back home.
Yeah.
But,
I think Tom Mitchell has that connection with Josh Giddey. That's kind of his in.
True. Yeah.
Josh Giddey just got traded, apparently.
Oh, really? What's happening with his controversy?
I think that controversy is over.
Swept under the rug? Yeah,
I think because the fam. I think I have no idea. I think the consensus is he didn't actually know how old they were, because they met in at a club, over 18s club, but right, the girl's family wasn't working with the police at all, so they just got dropped. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Petrarca told
that's gonna
a story.
That's gonna follow him throughout his entire career there.
What's that? Sorry.
It's gonna follow him through his entire career there. You would think.
Petrarca tells that story of him being near LeBron, and it's such a funny thing. To us, Petrarca is one of the best.
Yeah.
And then in a room with LeBron, he's just just a fan. It's kind of just strange. Worlds collide like that.
Yeah, it's a weird connection there. A basketball player and a cook. Man, that Petrarca stuff was scary.
Yeah.
With his spleen. Legit, if he got tackled again, he could have died.
Yeah. That is horrendous. Oh, late tackle here by you. Is that your man, always?
Better not be. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just.
That's a good point.
I'm not sure. I think isn't Ben Simmons the one that people don't like?
I'm not really into my NBA, but I didn't. That's the first I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think there's definitely Australian basketball player that people don't like.
Is one of them like? Does one of them refuse to play for Australia? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
in the chat might be able to tell us
I
that.
think
Is that
he says he's like injured when he's not. I think that's a thing as well,
yeah, okay.
especially for his own club in the NBA as well.
Yeah. G'day, Darth Jar Jar. Yasha says the doctor should have had more duty of care. It's a hard one though. Like if a player is hiding to some extent, I just realized I fucked up the score there. If a player's not like being forthcoming with their injury, it's kind of hard for a doctor to assess. I've had my rib like smashed in a game once, and it hurts at the time. And I'm not really comparing it to what Petrarca went through, but like with the rib injury, it hurt at the time, and then you're warm, so you're kind of fine. And then I went off for half time, and I was fucked, and I didn't run again for 3 months.
That's the thing. I think like he was like it was after the core time, so obviously there wasn't him running about afterwards, but he was like he couldn't walk basically without like being in pain, even with painkillers. I think there need to be a thing where like sure you can't see what that is, but you can recognize that's a possibility, and you probably need to protect him a bit more.
Yeah,
like I saw the thing, like even Collingwood players were like, we shouldn't tackle them. Like even they knew it was bad.
Yeah,
like,
you're right. Yeah.
If it's a point where like the opposition are like, we shouldn't tackle them.
Yeah,
I think the doctors should probably be like, yeah, he's probably not right to go.
Yeah, scary.
So I think like if he gets like tackled again, he could have very well have died.
Imagine that happening, man.
I can also imagine like tragedy, but like I'm just imagining the player who like would tackle him as well, what they would feel.
Yeah. It's like like Phil Hughes and Sean Abbott.
Yeah,
they never want something like that to happen.
You wouldn't be able to blame a player because like you're on the field, like you got to treat them as if they're like an opposition player. Like
it's just a sporting.
As long as they're not like as long as it's not like what they did to Nick Riewoldt years ago.
Yeah, that was fucked. Yeah, even though that wasn't like life threatening, that was still fucked.
Yeah.
He's reporting. Mitch Cleary has reported Liam Baker met with West Coast. Yeah, I feel like that is going to happen. I feel from what I've heard about West Coast, I think they're throwing out a lot of what's the word? Feelers, to try and get established players. So there's Liam Baker. There was the report on Jack Graham. There's also like big footy rumor about Isaac Cumming. We've made an offer for him, and boy did he. And I've also heard through like a personal connection, they've offered a contract to Steely Green from Richmond.
Isaac's doing what?
Yeah. Don't worry about Isaac. He's having a good time. So I think West Coast is probably going to be quite aggressive to try and reshape their list as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't cost us pick 3 in any way, shape, or form to get Liam Baker.
Imagined. That'd be funny. Looking at the stats. God, always got 3 goals. Always Kernow got a 3.
That is half time for those
Cripps
wondering.
leading with 20 possessions. Next best is 16, which is like 4 players tied. All Carlton players. Kennedy, Walsh, Hewitt, DeConan, all for 16 touches. Not bad from the DeConan. He's on a real hot streak.
Yeah, he is, So I got 3 players around the 50 mark. I'm happy with that.
It's like Geelong don't have like a proper ruck in this game.
They like, in addition to obviously just playing poorly in general, their starts have been really poor this year, Geelong. Like, they got 9 goals down against Port and then nearly won. I feel like they got a massive way down against the Giants, lost that game. They got massively down against Richmond, 5 goals down. And in this game, you still kind of give them a shot of coming back because their second halves have been good.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll win, but
no.
Like, it just feels like this first half thing with Geelong is continuing. This is also after the bye for them. Yeah. Well, both teams, I think.
So I think the best case scenario for me is Carlton. If they finish top 4, is them finishing second.
Best case scenario?
The best case scenario, because no team has ever won it from second in the current system. which is a weird stat.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
didn't know
true. Like no team has won it for the second.
Wow.
I think that's true.
Mind you, there was that stat. I
Plenty
reckon,
of teams win it from third. Not so much
Yeah.
from fourth. A lot decent amount from I think the most people win it the most from third.
third, yeah. Wait, no. West Coast finished second in 2018.
Did they? Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
I was going to say, how has that never happened before? Yeah.
I think maybe it's like one team, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. There was also that quirky thing where it was like minor premiers never win flags in for a decade, and then Melbourne, Geelong, and Collingwood all won it.
Yeah. I think it's like the rarest to have like the top four, maybe.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Richmond had a knack of finishing third and winning. I think all their
Hawthorn did it 1 year.
Yeah.
I think they won one from first as well. Hawthorn.
2013, I think Hawthorn finished top. That was it. I'll scroll up a little bit to the chat. Sorry. What are the chances of Chad Warner to come? I feel like that might all be smoke and mirrors. I really don't think Chad Warner's going to leave. My opinion's worth absolutely nothing, though. But I'm not even getting my hopes up about Chad. And I think if he did come home, he'd probably go to Freo because of the Luke Jackson. And I feel like there's somebody else. Maybe Jarrett. No, not Jeremy Sharp. Oh, yeah, Jeremy Sharp. Same year, I reckon. Who knows?
Hey, don't forget about your waffle guy, Trey Rusco.
Yeah, it's true. There's a big draw card.
Yeah.
G'day, Brandon Stevens.
I was a bit disappointed he didn't get picked up by you guys on mid-season draft. I know there was a bit of talk about him at that point.
The thing about Trey, us picking him up in the mid-season draft might have been the only selection we could have made that would weaken our waffle team. Because if we selected him and picked him in our AFL team, our waffle team just gets worse. So,
is he has he been your best waffle player?
Yeah, he has. Yeah. With the exception of maybe Clay Hall, but I think you'd still go Rusco. But he's playing undersized key forward, and we've got a few of those now. So
I know he started out his career in the forward half for us.
Yeah.
I
missed West Coast in the worst of all time combos. Getting lonely down here, says he. I still don't know if I consider I know the North's wins and stuff have been really bad over the number of years, but I still don't think I put them on the same tier as that Demon side.
I said, Brandon, I'm done. What are all these stats about teams winning from second? I gotta just make that up, maybe.
Well, yeah, well done, Brandon.
I'm sure there's some weird stat somewhere. Maybe it's fourth. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to pull together some semblance of me not being a moron.
I mean, that's not a lot, to be fair. Or maybe it is. 2008, 2009, 2011, and 2018. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, with North, I don't think they're over a period of time, it may work out that they probably have the least wins of many teams in a very long time. But I mean, I don't think they've ever really been lose a game by 150 points bad. They kind of just lose by 6 or 7 goals consistently. It's certainly been a tale of this year, and I think even the last 2 years, West Coast would have way bigger losses in that same time frame.
How could you be the worst team of all time when you got players like Darcy Tucker running around?
Yeah.
Jaden Stevenson, another GOAT.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I feel
I like North, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel bad potting them for anyone could see that they needed to get experienced players. So they've tried to get some top liners and failing that. They've tried to get some depth players at other clubs. And so I feel bad being Darcy Tucker sucks. It's wow.
Yeah. I think there's some talk about Collingwood being interested in Cam Zoha as well. So that was a thing. Yeah. Apparently we're interested in LDU in his next year. So I think North really need to hold on to these players, even though Zohan
it's going to be
potentially
it's
is
going to be
like
terrible if LDU leaves.
the best player.
Wouldn't guess that LDU would leave, but it's possible. I
I
feel like
like-
Zohan will leave.
Honestly, like the only thing making me think that Zohar wouldn't leave necessarily is him like the amount of shit he gave what's his face, Horn Branches for leaving.
Mm.
But I think that was just mainly because I don't think he liked Horn Francis.
Yeah. I mean, Horn Francis left already after a year. I feel like that's different to Zohar putting in 8 and saying, hey, I want to play finals. You've had 8 years. Like, I feel like it is different. So
It's different.
Yeah. He reckons LDU will stay. I think he probably will. I don't think Horn Francis will.
Yeah, I think LDU is.
Sorry, did I say Horn Francis? I meant Zohar.
Yeah. I think LDU will stay. I think he's probably just a bit too similar age where like he can honestly be a captain if like, but Simpkins will be a bit young, whereas like it's probably that changer is not going to time well enough.
Yeah,
it's probably one of next captain's one of like Shees or Wardle, I imagine.
Yeah, Shees was a pretty impressive young man. Like listen to him talk, so like emotionally mature and intelligent. I got a beauty with Sheasel.
He talked up Dacos on the radio, so I like him already.
Yeah. I mean, like, I honestly thought it'd be crazy to put him in your leadership squad or group. Then you listen to him talk, and I'm like, no, you actually do have a lot to offer, particularly with a young team.
Yeah. Okay, Brisbane won it from second in 2001. That's another cross on my view.
That would really add up, isn't it?
Okay, maybe it's fourth.
Welcome to my life, man. I say things like that off the hip all the time. And the thing is, like, when I was a bit younger, I feel like, I don't know if this is true for sure, but I feel like I could rattle off stats pretty confidently and with some degree of accuracy. And I still get a lot right now, but now I realize, like, don't say things without double checking first.
Yeah.
Every day.
Okay, they did it. Brisbane did it from second in 2002 as well. This is from a dagger in my heart.
This started with you saying it had never happened.
No, it's like the second most common. Okay, Brisbane won from third in 2003.
Best
okay,
case
I'm changing the fourth.
Yeah, best case scenario, Carlton second.
Yeah, best case scenario, Carlton straight sets. I'm changing my mind.
Yeah,
regardless. AFL. I'm simply looking this up.
Jen Will. I hope I'm saying that right. Jen Will, forgive me, but he says he or she. Sorry, I don't actually know. This is embarrassing. If you guys can rejuvenate DGB, Greg Jabras, that'd be a miracle. He hasn't looked good for us at all. I'm not sure who he's referring to when he says you, if it's West Coast or is he talking about North? I think it's not a bad shout for North, actually. Just like a free swing at a talented tall who didn't quite make it and would be pretty cheap.
Spud for Spud.
I think there's nothing wrong with going after a spud and then like seeing if you can do something with it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure what's to go with Barras, Denver Barras, because like he looked like a pretty clear like decent player in his draft year, and this year like it was pretty clear like top 5, I think.
Yeah,
he's just really like just hasn't really shown a lot at the AFL level. Is it like because he's like a bit undersized?
I think height-wise, no, but maybe body.
Yeah.
I think he's like 195, so like that's enough. So yeah, he's clarifying that West Coast he wants to go home. So that's the first I've heard of that. Yeah, I probably would. You know, believe it or not, though, like as bad as West Coast are, we don't actually have a lot of room on the list because of where our contracts sit. So I don't know how we're going to fit all these players in if we're targeting heaps of them. I would like Granger Barras as a back. I think we need a back more than a forward, and it sounds like he's more forward than back these days. But probably worth a roll of the dice, but maybe on the rookie lists, just because I don't know how we fit him in otherwise.
How old's Waterman?
25, 26 this year.
Yeah, like you guys still have, like you don't really need a forwards.
Yeah, we got like Marek as well. I think he's coming on real well. Oscar Allen's still 25. Yeah. He's younger than Waterman.
Like Josh Hutchinson as well.
Yeah, and Archer Reed we just drafted. It's all well and good taking a punt on a tall, but Colin Livingston as well past that. So not an area.
Why doesn't my tolls look like that?
We could use a defender, I think. So I really hope we're going after Buzzlinger.
I think we could use defender. We could use one on either end.
Personally. Yeah, actually, Collingwood should be going after someone like a Buzzlinger.
Yeah, I think Battle was I like.
Oh yeah, that makes more
first
sense,
option.
Actually.
But if we want to win, we're interested in Hawthorn. Are also interested in. I was like, piss off Hawthorn. Go away. Be original.
I'm not ready for a good Hawthorn again, eh?
No.
It's been a while, admittedly. When was the last time they were good? 2018, they had a bit of a dead cat bounce. Yeah. Back into the 4, and respectfully, I feel like they're in the top 4 as a bit of an also ran. A bit like West Coast in 11. We made it. We weren't really a contender. So it has been a while since a good Hawthorn. 2016, I reckon, straight sets was the last good Hawthorn.
Yeah.
And yet I still feel like it's come around too quickly. I'm like, nah. I think it's because I lost the grand final to him.
Yeah. My cousin goes for Hawthorn. So I'll message him a few times, just giving him shit, and I'm really not ready for that to end either.
Yeah.
He messaged me a while ago saying we may never lose again after winning the game. It was against a shit team as well, I think. I can't remember. And lo and behold, they haven't lost in a while.
Yeah.
Other than that crazy Port game.
Oh, yeah. Arguably the most impressive performance of the lot as well. Maybe. I don't know. They've been pretty good, but that would have been a pretty stunning win.
Yeah. But Sandwich were kind of lost on that game, I reckon. When a bit early on the gun for trying to kill the game.
Yeah, okay.
They parked the bus pretty much the entire last quarter.
Yeah. See, I watched it and I remember it, but I've been drinking a lot the last 2 months. I feel like a lot of things have just evaporated out of my brain. I'm still warming back up.
Been loving too many European men.
That is bad for the memory. He says
where'd you
and I think North split the pick and take Trainer. Yeah, not a bad shout. I think North probably in a position to go tall. I definitely think that. Do they need a Josh Smiley? Maybe not. So there's a lot of good talls as it currently stands. A lot of good talls later in the first round. So if they switch the pick and get a Whitlock, one of the Whitlocks, and Luke Trainer, that's probably the way I'd go. And I feel like there might be some people clamoring to trade up for pick 1.
Yeah, I feel a bit different, because you obviously I get massively into the draft as well. I'll do all these draft predictions beforehand, but I don't really pay attention too much to it until maybe a month or 2 before the draft.
Probably because Collingwood's relevant.
Yeah, that's true.
I think,
but also I also find a lot of early doors, the actual predictions for where players could end up don't often come to be.
Yeah.
Players have bad under 18 seasons. And some players are shoot out of nowhere, where I think it's becomes a bit more just not wasting your time, but it's a bit of not getting the full picture, I guess.
No, you're right. You're dead right. I like it. I like just building familiarity with the players over the course of the season and then investing in who the bolters and sliders are. It just gives me a bit more depth of knowledge around the draft itself.
Because I tend to just go all in as soon as it's a month or 2 before the draft, go and look at all these players and where they are and all in one go, as opposed to a bit more spread out, I guess.
I mean, I've never been less interested in the draft than the years West Coast were good. But mid-season, third last, second last, or last, the last 3 years, I'm already thinking Finn O'Sullivan's going to lead us to the glory land. So.
Okay, I figured it out. I looked from 2000 I'm not looking beforehand.
Yeah.
I think I can't. It's like that's about when the season, when the current system started, around that time, like in the late 90s maybe. But yeah, no team has won it from fourth.
Wait, be specific. No team has won it from
correct
fourth
me.
since 2000?
Yeah, since 2000.
Really?
Yeah. Don't correct me, chat. Let me live in bliss.
Yeah, don't correct me. The top three besides Luke just don't. Oh, where did that go? Just don't impress me. Fair enough. I'm aligned with that here. I think that's a fair thing to say. Darth Ajar says we should trade Petch and Rotham. I think Rotham's out of contract. We don't really need to trade him. Petch has a contract. I wouldn't lose sleep over it if we did trade Petch Jelly. But again, like we wouldn't get it for much. It would just be a list spot.
Yeah.
G'day, Kev's Magpies. Welcome, mate.
We love
Magpies. Who do I like in a draft? Yeah, I might have answered that before I even read that comment, Nyasha, but Finn O'Sullivan is the one I think like I want for the Eagles as it currently stands. Sid Draper, another midfield option. It'd be nice to get some mids with some running power and outside ability.
Well, too bad, Jesse. You're getting Campbell Chester 2.0.
Campbell's going okay. Campbell's
right.
He's going all right.
I just think I remember that draft. You're like, what the fuck?
Look, and I've got it right. Like I wanted Johnson or Hobbs, and they're probably ahead. But
yeah,
I think Campbell's come a long way, and I don't think he'll be an A grader. But you know, if he's like the level or ranking of Chris Maston in our next team, then that's like okay, that's all right. Chris Maston was pick 3, so.
To be fair, with a name like Malachi Champion, I don't blame you.
Malachi Champion looks good. He's a next generation academy talent.
That is a name and a half.
Quiet year. Real quiet.
Probably not. They're actually. I think this year might be the year they're looking to implement the changes to the academies in Father Son.
Yeah,
but I suspect. I reckon it should be next year though, because teams have already traded for this year in preparation, I imagine. And if they change it this year, it kind of fucks with.
100% agree. 100% agree. Like, so I saw Voss ranting about it. You know, obviously Voss has got 2 Camprioli twins, so he's got a vested interest. But I agree with what he said, and it's not just even like teams like Carlton. Like, look at what Richmond did. Richmond's traded in heaps of seconds and thirds this year with a strategic decision to trade them for academy players. So if the rules change on them, then I feel like Richmond is another team that gets fucked over, and there's probably more teams you could think of like that.
Yeah.
I reckon give it another year. As much as it would possibly, like, depending on what they do, like it might benefit West Coast if they make it better for next generation academy talents, because we got at least one this year, but I don't think it would be fair. G'day, Pat Kaz.
I mean, he just get like better father sons. You know what I'm talking about?
What is with the explosion of father sons? I feel like it.
Yeah, that's been. It was like a explosion in Geelong back in the day with Hawkins,
right.
and then it stopped for a bit, and then just recently it's picked up again.
Yeah, it's. I can only assume that the pathways for like father sons are a bit better. So like, if you're a talented son, you're going to get a bit more, you know, attention, I guess, with your development. So maybe that's why.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs.
Yeah. I mean, not this year, but next year's draft. Collingwood would have like a potential first round pick as a father son.
Is that Malloy?
No,
not
McGuan.
McGuan, sorry. I always mix up Malloy and McGuan. Yeah. Mick McGuan's son, right?
His son, he's probably needs to grow a bit from what I've seen. He's a bit undersized as a midfielder.
Yeah.
Come on.
West Coast also have Charlie Banfield, as Nyasha points out. He sounds like he's going real well. We haven't had Jake Waterman's our best father-son under the like actual father-son rule. We got Cuz through father-son. We got McIntosh through father-son, but the rules were a bit different. This is a little bit more modern-day father-son. And Charlie Banfield actually might be half decent, so fingers crossed.
So I don't think like necessarily like impact as saying like you should just remove it all entirely. I think like I like obviously I like the father son obviously, but I think the academies are like important as well for like certain players in pathways in Queensland. I think more so, but like I think like it just needs to be like it needs to be not a discount. It needs to be like you need to pay more for these players, not have them be cheaper from what they're actually the picks are worth.
Making them pay more would disincentivize clubs investing in their academy.
I think I was thinking more for father sons, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think maybe just pay market rate.
Yeah.
As a compromise, I think that'd be all right. My take is that everything from father son to academy picks should be removed. Because I do like father son too, even though my club's never really benefited other than cuz early goal to second.
When I look at father son for us, we actually like obviously we got Nick Dacos and stuff like that. That's probably, but I look at what we've actually had to pay for all of them. Like Darcy, like the current ones are Nick Dacos brothers and more. There might be another one I'm just forgetting. Like Darcy Moore, we actually used a pick 9 that we had on him.
Yeah.
So we paid market rate for him basically.
Yeah.
And Josh Dacos, we took him with our own pick as well.
Yeah.
It was like pick 50 something. We didn't actually. He was a father son, but he wasn't bidded on.
That's true.
And Nick Dacos is like we traded away our first round pick because we knew about Dacos. But even if father son didn't exist, we don't trade away that pick. We trade away for peanuts, basically, just like a second rounder and some other stuff, basically.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it probably relies on Tom Francis getting taken by North still. But even if father son still exists, if we didn't trade away a pick, we could have. If we had pick 2, then Juan Francis gets bid on as an example, and then we can just pick, say, like a Callahan or a Shelley or something like that.
Yeah,
I thought we'd take Mac Andrew if I had that time again. That was the opportunity, but so realistically, like we got away with it, but we haven't really like got away with it. Where it's been like too ridiculous, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think even Gordon, right, who's an academy pick, like he was bid on at 26, right? So it's not as though. I mean, he fell into Sydney's lap in a sense, but it's like so many other. They could have bid on him earlier and made it harder for Sydney, and they didn't. And so that's just kind of football. Him coming good.
I'm fairly aware. Like
one was like they matched him with like pick 18, and they won the flag. But then they did change the rule the year after that.
Yeah.
So
I think that Gordon. I think maybe Blake as well. Like those players were already gonna be AFL players. I think Gordon has like a football background and stuff like that. I think Blakey's dad was some of the football as well.
He was a father son for North as well, but grew up in Sydney mostly, I think. So decided to stay. One of the biggest blues with father son is probably Josh Dunkley.
Yeah,
the Swans opting not to go for him.
I know we didn't go for Jake Kelly. Not that he's like big blunder necessarily. Decent player, but it's not. I don't think it's necessarily where we're like, what's it called? Gun ourselves over.
Somebody asked about Mainwaring's son, Zach. So he's a decent waffle level player, just wasn't quite top level talent. Daft. Not sure about Judd's son. I know that his son Oscar is an Eagles fan. I don't know if he's good at footy or even will be pushed into footy. He might, but even then, I feel like what will happen is, maybe he goes for West Coast now, but 17, 18, when it starts to become a serious career option, he might go, might as well just stay in Melbourne, big club. So I don't have my hopes up for Oscar Judd. 41 points. No, that has fallen short.
It's been interesting seeing the Cone and Ruck battle that's going on. Fun.
Yeah, true. The top 10 shouldn't be touched. Jed Walter training with Gold Coast for 1 year, and then they can select him this year. Well, he was also from Perth and an Eagles fan, so that really sucked. Darth says we should have taken Matty Johnson instead of Chesser. I agree that Johnson's been better, but I am actually not completely convinced about that yet. I think that I feel like Chesser just is the kind of player we need more than a Matty Johnson in our team. With like considering who else we've got Jinby and Hewitt and Reed. Like I don't know if Johnson's high priority, but if Chesser comes good, it'd be better. What was that?
What exactly is Chesser's role there for level?
Wing,
yeah.
And I know I'm not saying he's better than Johnson, but he has a couple of things that Johnson doesn't. He's much faster. His endurance is, I'm guessing, a little bit better. Just different. So, if we had Johnson and we had no Chesser, I'd probably be thinking, where's our outside run? And I'm still already thinking that.
Yeah. You see, just gets touched. You see, Sam Taylor's out for a while with the worst injury known to man.
Oh yeah, thought I dreamt that.
Side bottom's old injury a few years ago.
Oh yeah, bruh. Sends shivers down the spine of a grown man. Wow.
I just read this thing about like a All Blacks player in the 80s. Who like played this match and like won the game, but he noticed free kick, Colonel. But he looked down at his nut and saw that his ball was hanging out of his sack, and he just like he still went out for drinks afterwards. He had to get his sack like repaired with stitches.
Oh, bro. I just went on a boat to South Croatia with a bunch of Kiwi boys, and that doesn't shock me. They're mad.
Yeah, so we went to Croatia. Granddad's from Croatia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get shit on. Yeah, went to my homeland.
Another father-son. But he's also like part of the Brisbane Academy, right?
I watched one half of the Euros match last night.
Oh, yeah? And you're not really into soccer, are you?
No, I thought I'd chuck it on because I was bored waiting for something. But I chucked it on. It was like, I chucked the second half of the England-Denmark game. Generally, it was an awful choice. It was a terrible game. Like England were just playing the most boring type of soccer or whatever. It's just like when people think the stereotype of soccer, just like kicking it backwards and shit like that. It's what England were doing. Yeah,
they got slaughtered for that. Yeah, like I watched the game as well. I'm loosely supporting England, but yeah, like not to get too analytical about a sport like different AFL, but like they were playing too defensive. But then like all the pundits were blaming Southgate, the manager, and then I think was it Walker said at the end of the game, he's like, he's telling us to be free flowing and creative and aggressive, and it was just like not at all what was happening. So I don't know what that was about.
Like they take off like bring on 3 attacking players at one point, and then they just none of them attack.
Yeah,
like they had what's his face, the Pickford, the goalkeeper, come up to take a goal kick. Like a free kick at the halfway line, and he just like chips it. Yeah, I was like, I watched that game because I wanted England to lose.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't. I was like,
soccer is the one sport I will support England in. That's it.
I just really find it funny when it's not coming home.
Yeah. Now, I think because I support the Premier League and there's a few Liverpool players in there, like I've got a bit more of affinity with England. So when Australia is not relevant, like I'll obviously never support England over Australia, but like, you know, in the Euros, I'll support England and probably Scotland second because of my heritage. But
probably, the heritage that's why if it's not Australia, it's the World Cups, it's Croatia.
Oh, true. Yeah, I love Croatia. Beautiful country.
Been pretty poor when I've seen so far.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy what they've achieved, like to make a World Cup final and then I think the next World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. For such a small country, it's ridiculous how good Croatia is.
I stayed up to watch that the final of the World Cup.
Oh yeah,
World Cup. What's that? And it was that's just shit.
Yeah.
But hey, I watched that Denmark game.
Are you Croatian on both sides of your family?
No, just my granddad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
you haven't been
besides that, no, I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I recommend it. One of my favorite countries in the world.
There's like a bunch of stuff. It was like Europe is like all close together. You know what I mean? I think my great grandma was like German or something like that. But my grandma, my dad's side, the one married to the Croatian one, was from Malta. Obviously, they're not very good.
Oh yeah. Oh, Jezza.
Oh, just.
Oh no, probably needed that.
Too much bend on that.
Yeah. Story of my life.
Other than that, it's like I think it's like England, from like great grandparents, mom's side, and then like mom's dad's side is like Australia back to convicts.
Yeah.
I think it was from Ireland, to be honest. I think he stole a cow. Was what he did. That's all I know.
I'm mostly Scottish and Irish. Nothing too juicy over here.
That's good. As long as you're not English. Yeah,
I'm barely English. Like I'm a little bit. I think it's hard to avoid a little bit of a percentage.
Yeah.
But not especially as
much after their exploits.
Yeah. They got around those boys. Like my great grandfather was, we thought, fully English. But that doesn't quite work out in my DNA because I've done the test. So he must have been Scottish as well. Supporting Collingwood makes sense with the comedy background.
It does.
He's asked when I'm coming back. Yes, good memory. I'm almost certainly coming back end of this year.
You going back to Perth?
Certainly for the first little bit. I don't know like what happens after that, but like if it's not Perth, it'll be Melbourne. But we'll see. But yeah, Perth for at least a little bit, just reconnect with the fam.
Yeah, go for Melbourne. Go for a beer, even though I don't like beer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, mate. That'd be good. I kind of just want to be around the home of footy and, connect with other people who do this and friends I've made along the way doing true footy, like even if it's just for a year. That'd be kind of fun, right?
Because like Drewsy's in Melbourne, isn't he?
Yeah. And like Caden, like I'm good friends with Caden as well.
Yeah.
Blue Abroad, Pommy, Swoop Luke. It's just so many of them in Melbourne. It would be cool to just, hang out with them every now and then. Well, you guys, of course.
No, they don't count.
Have I got a random job or I'm still on YouTube? I'm still on YouTube here. No random job. That will change when I get back to Perth. There's absolutely no way I can keep living like this for the rest of my life. Bit of credit card debt, as they say.
Tom Hawkins it's probably his last year.
Yeah.
Hasn't been. I think he's been goalless like 4 or 5 times in a row at some point. 4 or 5 games in a row, which is like he's never done in his for a while in his career. Like it's been a long time since he's done that.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? Div 12 resis. I've kicked a footy twice in my life in the last 10 years since I quit footy, and both of them were on camera. It was like 2 different goal kicking challenges, or maybe 3. I shudder to think what would happen if I actually put on the boots and played a footy game. Will I go back to Bunnings? I mean, I suppose it depends if I go to Perth and stay there. But, like Bunnings is probably a pretty good part-time job if I can like continue to YouTube and Bunnings. It's just funny. Like that's just returning to my old life. But I feel like it's a good place to work. So I would consider it, yeah. He's Oscar Allen's manager now. Sorry, I've missed who. We were talking about Tom Hawkins. He's not talking about Tom Hawkins, is he?
No.
That'd be a massive.
This question: do you get fucking free Bunnings snacks?
Nah. Myth.
Okay, then why bother working there?
Oh, actually, that's telling a little bit of a lie. So the community group that run them, we don't do they Bunnings don't do the like sausage sizzles. So if you go for a free snag, you're essentially just like robbing, East Fremantle lawn bowls club. That being said, sometimes the managers we would petty cash some free snags for the team. So
to be fair, the East Fremantle Bowls Club has had it too good for too long. I say.
Yeah, they've been rorting the salary cap for years.
Yeah, that's surely it.
He's talking about me. I wish I was Oscar Allen's manager.
You wish you could touch him. Yeah, I'm sure that'd give you an excuse too.
I want to be Harley Reid's life coach. He says, your goal was to stay on YouTube for the time you're in England. Looks like you smashed it. Thanks, mate. I appreciate the kind words. I don't know if I feel like I smashed it because I've, spent so much money and I haven't really I could barely say that I've lived off it, but it probably has gone a little bit better than I expected.
Snags.
Yeah, nice goal. So yeah, I'm pleased with it, but thank you. Thanks for the support. Updated skill there.
It'd be weird watching your kid play when they're on opposite teams.
Yeah.
Who could you go for?
Mackay's last week.
First time ever. It's a bit disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny though. Technology has come so far. They're really good with like the holograms these days. Realistic. Holograms.
Oh yeah.
So realistic these days.
That took me a second, yeah.
It almost made me think it wasn't just one person. Just Barry Hall. Not Barry Hall, Barry Mackay.
Yeah, Barry Hall. It's just a merger of two key position players. It's Barry Hall. The year you chose to leave Perth, the Eagles become dog shit. I'll have you know they became dog shit a year before that, bro. So, but yeah, it's actually kind of like a funny full circle thing. My best mate here, who I live with, was also my best mate in high school when I moved to Abu Dhabi. And both times he's been around me for an extended period of time have both been the time the Eagles have won the spoon. So like he just thinks West Coast are fucking terrible, like in perpetuality.
That's not a sign to cut him off. I don't know what it is.
So I'm very
stay with him, please.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
I'm used to being overseas while the Eagles are terrible.
How convenient. It's almost like we're avoiding it.
Recruit the whole West Coast team with your enlightenment sessions. It sounds like a Fremantle thing, to be honest. Led by Nat 5. In one of your videos, I asked, was your Croatia trip part of a Kentucky tour or was it just a standalone trip? So I did a Kentucky in Greece and then I did a Sail Croatia with a company, which was an organized trip. And that Kentucky do that, but a different company was what I went with. So in a sense, broadly, same format, different company. He says, just get to the draft season, mate. That's what I'm holding out for. And that is the most rewarding financially and views wise time of the year is trade and draft. So I'm hoping to make back some of the money I've spent and then go home.
It's Tom Hawkins a bit choppy. Oh, I didn't know there was this. I was watching the game last week. The shit kick, the North Melbourne Collingwood game. I had no idea there was a streaker that game.
Oh, really?
There was someone on the field. I don't know. It wasn't naked, but it's actually
Yeah.
it was actually the guy who went on the field was actually a mate of Maynard's.
Oh, really? Fucking hell.
It's Charlie. I think it was Charlie Clark from the Dogs, his brother as well.
Oh, really? Yeah, right.
Of course, Collingwood is the one that gets mentioned.
Yeah.
We draw clicks.
Gets clicks. Without looking, if you had to guess, you probably already looked, but just in case you didn't, could you guess who has the most fantasy points on the field?
DeConin.
Good guess, but it's your boy Owies. He's on 91. I didn't expect that.
Oh, what's Supercoach?
Gary Rowan. Goal. Yeah, he says it's like that guy said you don't make videos now because West Coast is shit. Even though probably didn't doing more. Exactly. I did cop that criticism because in 2022 I kind of stopped uploading for a bit. Multiple people were like, "Oh, it's just because West Coast is shit, bro. He's quit." It was unfortunate. Like the first year I started True Footy, we won the flag, so it probably did look bad. But I didn't know we were going to win the flag when we started. So. Yeah, I think you've voluntarily proven that that's a myth.
All right, I was right for Supercoach. DeConin is leading all players for Supercoach score.
Good guess. He has been good. I think he's top 3 in fantasy.
He's on 127 Supercoach right now.
Damn.
He's I think he's number two at the moment for free round average in Supercoach.
Wow.
He's average is 140 or something.
I wonder if you can get him as a forward in fantasy.
I don't think so.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, ironically, your team being
nice.
the post. Your team being really good or really bad is both good for views. So I didn't make videos on the Eagles last year to get views. I was more something I discovered after. But when the Eagles were losing as badly as they were, I felt like it was time for a video. And then the videos banged. It's when they're in the middle that's a little bit hard to get views, but I just do it for passion anyway.
It's made me think of the academy. Collingwood have got an academy player. It's Quaynor's brother.
Yeah, is it Luke?
Close. Yeah, Luke. I think he's very good. He's playing for the VFL side, not getting a lot of touches, but looks a lot like him, to be fair.
Is it this year or next?
This year, I think.
Oh.
I don't think he'll be picked up, to be honest. But
I was gonna say I haven't seen him in any. I'm aware of him, but I didn't see him in any top 40s, to be honest.
No, he wouldn't be in any of that. He's getting probably averaging just under 10 or less touches in the VFL.
Yeah,
for us.
Yeah,
as a defender,
not too bad if it's VFL.
Yeah,
but
it's not something like
the team sucks, right?
Yeah, it's not top 40 material though.
Yeah, that's probably the way you want it. Get another Dacos of the Josh variety.
I did see this thing that was this. I don't know where it's from, but it's called Back Pocket. They had a survey based on which team do you hate? Which teams do you hate from club fans? And I saw there's a top 5, top 5 for every club, who their most hated are from the survey. Collingwood is in every single one of them, but one club in the top 5 most hated.
Wait, sorry, repeat that.
There's a top 5 for each club out of a poll of the most hated clubs, basically, which club or team hates. And Collingwood's in every single one of them except one.
Oh, wow.
which is the Western Bulldogs of all clubs.
Really?
Which the only reason I think of is like we got them in the finals in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, other than that, where West Coasters most hated oppositions apparently. 71%.
Seems cliche to just say Collingwood.
51% for Freo for West Coast fans.
Wow.
According to the survey.
I actually don't hate teams anymore. I feel like if I did let myself hate teams, it would take away from what I do. But I would much rather lose to Collingwood than Fremantle. I still don't like losing derbies.
After Freo is pretty close between two is Port and Essendon, which is
For West Coast.
Yeah, be interesting.
Wonder why Port.
Next
Essendon makes sense.
Carlton.
They have a bit of a rivalry.
To be fair, where Sydney's most hated, what St Kilda's second most hated, what Richmond's most hated, Port's second most hated, North's third, Melbourne's first, Hawthorn's third, Giants second, Gold Coast second, Geelong first, Dockers third. They hate West Coast and Carlton more than us. Doesn't surprise me.
Can you see where we feature for which teams in the top 5? I'd imagine Fremantle.
Yeah, you're 86% for Freo.
Damn.
There's a lot more than you West Coast fans. For you guys, it's like 51% for Freo.
Yeah.
It's a bit of that, I feel sorry for you. I don't think about you at all.
Yeah.
Where Essendon's number 1, Carlton's number 1, Brisbane's number 1, and Adelaide's second.
Yeah. I do feel like people are just kind of like taught at a young age to hate Collingwood, though. So if you're a casual fan, you just go, Collingwood, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how much of that is actually legitimate. I could be wrong.
To be fair, West Coast is featured in, so far, the top 5 hated for 2 clubs.
So Fremantle was one of them?
Yeah.
Essendon?
Essendon don't give a shit about you.
Well, I just thought because of like the Sheedy history and like the jacket waving, I don't know. But
it's Port.
Right.
You're like 5th or 4th for them.
Might have something to do with the 2 after the siren goals.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I can only remember one against us, and that was what's it called? I know 2, but one of them we didn't lose because one was Adelaide. It was Mitch McGovern, I think.
Oh yeah,
but that was just to draw it.
I don't think
Brisbane did it to us. Zach Bailey.
Yes. I don't think I've seen it happen against us. Could be wrong.
I've seen us do it. Billy Elliott.
Yeah, I've seen us do it heaps as well. Shuey, McGovern, and Nat Nui twice.
Not that I remember it, but there was there was one against Adelaide, I'm pretty sure. Might not have been Arthur Siren, might have been like just beforehand.
Collingwood?
Jack Anthony? Collingwood.
Yeah, right.
I want to say Jack.
That rings a bell. That was a long time ago. There, it rings a bell.
Yeah. Richmond have had against them a fair amount.
Yeah. I've made this comment before, so forgive me if everyone's heard me say this, but it struck me in the 18 grand final when I went over there. Everyone was like, oh, Collingwood in the grand final. Oh, my God, blah, blah, blah. And then it'd be like, so you're going for West Coast? And they'd be like, fuck no. So they were still going for Collingwood if they were Victorian. I was like, oh, you're right.
Right in front of me.
Yeah.
Robbed.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
So just reading his comment. Yeah. Yeah, cheers here. Yeah, the draft is it's a very growing big part of like new media media in general. It's getting a lot more coverage and it does well, and every team's invested to some extent. North versus West Coast reviews are big. Yeah, because they often involve us losing. We've actually only beaten North once in the last 5, which I just realised. So, yeah, they do well. But in general, North videos get a bit of attention. I think over the years, I think it started with me probably chipping out North and making jokes in like 2021, and then there's probably an affinity grown with them because we've both been shit since then. And yeah, I think that's what it is. But yeah, North, I get clicks from North fans.
You know what they say, shit sticks together.
Yeah. Even losing to them, I was just like, well done. Like, I don't really care that much. There's no like rivalry, I don't think.
No. It's hard to have a rivalry with North Melbourne.
I can't even throw shade at them. They've just beat us.
Yeah. Not necessarily because I think obviously I think Essendon don't like North at all. I think that's probably their biggest rivalry.
Essendon and North probably do have that rivalry, yeah. We have a bunny team. Beat Melbourne 20 times in a row? Holy fuck, I didn't know that.
We haven't lost to Adelaide in so long. Collingwood.
Yeah, we gotten bloody close.
Yeah, all the time. But they still can't beat us.
That's so weird. It's so quirky. It's kind of like the Cats and Hawthorn when the Cats won like 10 in a row or something like that, but they were always thrillers.
The Kennett curse.
Eagles Swans 07, or 04-07, like Darth says, is got to be the best rivalry ever in terms of actual games. Like, I don't think I've seen anything like that.
No close, but I think 18, 20, something like that was like decent between West Coast and Collingwood.
Yeah.
There's some cracking games in there.
Yeah. 2 big finals in 18. 19, you beat us by a point at Optus. But we also beat you in round 3 at the G.
2020 had that the unwinnable game.
Yeah, elimination final. That was good. Then I think we won early 2021. You guys had a shit year. And then 2022, the Marvel game. I forgot about that.
2021, late 2021, we smashed you. Even when we were shit.
Oh, yeah. God, that was diabolical.
I think that was Jack Iniven's first goal, I want to say.
Whose?
Outside Jack Iniven.
Yeah. I feel like Trent Bianco played in that game and probably kicked a goal as well.
Yeah.
Weird random memory.
Trent Bianco rocking up in Footscray at the moment. It was apparently like dogs were like chatting to him a fair amount about him getting picked up mid-season draft, and they just didn't.
Right.
Just found the restaurant. They got a great Palmer.
Oh, Palmer, yeah, right.
Enjoy going to the Survey, mate.
The what?
The Survey.
Oh, the Survey.
Frankly, I'm gonna go have my Palmer in the Italian city of Parma.
Yeah. Sydney Hawks was nice as well. That's a good point. That 12 grand final was probably one of my faves that didn't involve us.
Yeah. I say Parma, but I really do love when Italians get pissed off about their food.
I only recently learned they don't like call it spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah.
It's got like its own word.
Bolognese is like someone else, basically.
Yeah. Well, it just means like from Bologna, I presume.
Yeah.
But they don't call it that there. That makes sense, right? It's like Chinese food. People don't call their food Chinese food.
Yeah. Like orange chicken isn't a thing. That's a Chinese American thing, really.
So this margin is 27 points. We got
27
coming in the game for a while.
To be fair, it's been not a great game so far.
Yeah, a little bit of a stinker. more or less played out like the form lines suggested.
Yeah.
Geelong
have great start to the year and kind of awful start. Awful. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to need you to hold the fort for about a minute. I am going to pee and grab my laptop charger.
All right.
So do some juggling and tell some jokes.
All right. The greatest joke of all, the West Coast Football Club. You can't hear that one, which is good. I don't blame him. Chris Scott. I would lose my mind if I was Chris Scott too. Boy, he looks sweaty. Yeah, a lot of it's a weird thing with Sunday games that often end up being some crackers that you don't expect. It's I don't know what they do, but how they work it out, but what they've done with the games they picked for the primetime games have just ended up being stinkers. There's been some really good ones. I remember the early round Brisbane Carlton one. That was a cracker, but not much after that. Kennedy get the goal, and it's probably it. Geelong need to go on a big old run to do anything. Yeah, I am Rogue back as Rogie, as the cool kids say. A lover of Daniel Bush's Bush, as they would say. Man, I miss Busher. If you miss Busher, let me know in chat.
Probably good time to update the score. Hey, just saw that.
Yeah. We're really lagging it, mate.
I was
just telling the chat how much I miss Busher.
Yeah, I did. I put out actually no, I didn't. I was going to say I put out an open invite for him to come on as well. I realized I never messaged him. I should have done, but he hasn't jumped on at all.
No.
There's a cat.
What's going on in Bush's life at the moment?
To be honest, mate, we've been just chatting memes and footy talk. I haven't really connected with him properly for a little bit. So yeah, you reminded me I needed to go do that. But yeah, he's moved from that old house. So the podcast where we used to do it, that room,
with the dog.
There's a lot of boat paraphernalia in there.
I do remember that sailboat in the background. Now you say that.
Yeah. His dad has his own boat painting company. So big boat guys.
And a big yapping dog.
Yeah. I loved and hated that dog. He was huge.
Yeah. What kind of dog was it?
It was an Australian Shepherd. It might have been a mix. I can't really remember. But I tell you what, he would have been bigger than Busher.
Is that hard? To be honest, I was saying before that specifically my word for word for missing Busher was I miss Bush's bush.
Oh. Yeah, it made it very easy to make manscaped puns.
I actually, when I was doing the redrafts the other night, I did have a look at one of your redrafts you did. It might have been 2008, I think.
Yeah.
And you had a Manscaped ad at the very start. You're like, it was a very awkward introduction to it. Speaking of bushes.
Was I with Busher or was it just me?
Yeah, you were with Busher.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but did the draft guy.
Lenny, that was a podcast.
Lenny, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Lenny's a good man.
I like doing mock drafts. I remember the AFL Reddit. They had a mock draft. Maybe not last year, but the year before, and I volunteered to do Collingwood's. The person drafted Collingwood. I think I took Isaac Keeler like early on.
Oh yeah, he was a bit of a like high talent, exciting prospect, and like you never hear about him now, which doesn't mean anything really. But yeah.
Can't remember who else. I don't think it was very good.
Mackay takes a mark.
I know this year I was like, I think I actually did take Jacob Ryan and Joe Richards because I heard about them being like I would be interested in them.
Good choices. How Jacob Ryan, is he still around? He is, isn't he? Yeah, I thought so. Haven't heard about him.
He's not doing a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
He had a bad first game, but it wasn't his fault. He got concussed in it.
Oh, yeah. Interesting looking man.
Yeah, that hair.
He says, man, your notifications are so weird on YouTube. Just got one for the Dons West Coast. Yeah, I think because I scheduled it last night. I was just like, commit to it now, get it up, let everyone knows about it. So, yeah, it just got published. But that is a weird time because I did it like more than 12 hours ago. And he paints boats, Pat Kaz. He doesn't paint. He paints the boats themselves. He doesn't make paintings of boats.
The Ash Johnson, he's contracted for this year, so for next year. So he won't get delisted for that much, but he's definitely like he's not going to a game anytime soon. Especially like my check will be back next week, and I think Mixed Day's got a round 20 date return date. What the club has said. So then it's not going to get a game after that. And it's like, unless Kruger gets injured, which is likely, he's probably not going to get another game for the year.
Yeah.
Because he's not really doing a lot of in the forward line in the VFL level.
Yeah.
Kicked free last week, but he didn't do a lot outside of that.
Yeah.
Like, I think his biggest problem with us is like just lack of him doing anything but kicking goals. Like, he just doesn't pressure much at all.
Yeah.
Because I was really wanting him to do well, but it just hasn't really worked out that way. I think he'll probably, unless he can really put some form together in the VFL and get into the side over the next year or two, he's probably going to go into get enlisted, if not traded. But I hope he does do well.
Yeah. Thanks, Brooklyn. I don't know if I have any planned as such for my own channel. I was thinking of doing one with Drew's, but then I kind of just thought, I've probably been relaxed a little bit on actual football content. I'll prioritize that, whereas my pods with Drew's tend to deviate to other stuff. So nothing planned as such, but we'll see. I suppose it comes down to whether I get inspiration, whether something's better as a podcast or whether it's better not. But maybe get some guests on. That's probably the way I'd do it. Dersma just gave Collingwood a bath in the midfield. Is that the Zane variety? I'm guessing.
It definitely wasn't.
Wouldn't have been Xavier or Willem.
Was it? Maybe it was. I was in the VFL. I didn't actually watch last week's VFL game. Actually, last week I only woke up like 10 minutes before the game. Right. On Sunday, so I was just slept. I was up to like 4 o'clock that night, so I just woke up at like 12:30.
Yeah,
in the afternoon. So I'm on break for uni at the moment.
Oh, nice. Until when?
Like a week or two. The 8th, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. I've been had the house to myself for the last few weeks as well. Parents on holiday. So it's a bit of awkward time because I've kind of just been doing a whole lot of nothing for a lot of it.
Yeah, how do you find it?
Working on the days I'm working, but
yeah, I would find it. Like when I lived at home, it's been a little while now because I'm an old man. But when I lived at home, I used to love it for a couple of days, and then I'd be like, "Where is everyone?"
Yeah, like the Elden Ring DLC came out today, so I'm playing that, but some entertainment.
You a Star Wars fan? You are, aren't you? Of course you are.
Yeah.
Have you watched The Acolyte?
I haven't watched any of these. I haven't watched any of the Disney Star Wars stuff.
Well, I recommend some of it. It's good, but The Acolyte is on 3.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything get that low. Like anything serious.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it though.
I'll be watching The Acolyte's career with great interest.
Yes. You're watching your career with great interest. Great reference. Random. No one will ever get it except me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, Palpatine. It's very niche, isn't it?
Yeah. I wonder if I could start a YouTube channel or a TikTok just on Palpatine. That would blow up way faster than True Footy. I reckon it still would.
Just Palpatine talking about footy.
Deep fake it. Actually, as an aside, before we get back to the chat, there is a Charlie Hopkins YouTube comedian, and he deep fakes Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon watching the movies.
Yeah, you told me about that before.
There you go. Well, anyone else who's interested, check it out because he's actually really funny, especially like watching the prequels and they're like tearing apart their own movie. It's funny.
I was just saying that about like the deepfakes, but there actually is someone in AFL YouTube landscape who does that, but he does it for Supercoach. It's a Supercoach YouTuber who's I forget his name, but he's like he does it like with the mouth moves, but it's the Godfather.
Oh yeah,
he's just a Supercoach, like the Supercoach Godfather, or whatever it is.
Well,
that's definitely game over.
Yeah. I didn't actually see who kicked it, but I noticed he had blood in his mouth.
I think it's his mouth.
Oh, no, it's his mouth guard.
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
Did you just figure that out?
50 points. Yeah, they're getting a little bit.
Don't show this. I don't want to see him. Don't turn around. I turned around.
Oh, my God.
The cat guy makes me uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Why am I aroused? Fuck.
Yeah, daddy.
Zane had 30 and 3 in his first time in the midfield. That's actually crazy. I wasn't sure if they were going to trial him as a midfielder. That's really impressive.
I don't mean to diminish his accomplishment because that's obviously very impressive. But our VFL side is horrendous, to be honest.
For sure. I still finding the ball 30.
Jack Bytel, 37 touches in the VFL.
Who did?
Jack Bytel.
Oh yeah, right. There you go.
He does nothing at an AFL level for once so far.
Yeah.
I think he's the only midfielder that played AFL listed midfielder that played that game.
Wow. I'm going to do cricket again end of season. Maybe I didn't think they did that well from memory. Like my BBL ones anyway.
Your Brazilian butt lifts.
Yeah. That content did not go down well.
BBL Will Parker.
I also anticipate that's probably when I'm going to be moving back home, so I don't know how much time I'll have.
I mean, there's obviously just put like a BBL highlights reel to BBL Drizzy. Easy. It's easy content.
Easy dub. Unlimited power. My favorite Palpatine quotes are the random ones that you're like, wait, what? What's that from? The ones that really get you, like the Master Skywalker. I'm sure I'll be watching your career with great interest. That is so dumb. That is so dumb.
There's this song that I know that's like it's from this like parody album basically, but it's like in this style of like a really like spoken word like emo song. But all it is just like really dramatic music or emo music, but it's just entirely to the lyrics. The lyrics are just entirely that scene in the in Star Wars where he was like, the pathway to the dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities.
Yeah,
natural. It's the entirely Darth Plagueis the Wise speech. That's the entire song. It's just the lyrics to that. In a sense, it's just like a chorus. I am the Senate.
Yeah. It's good. Oh, got a goal.
Jeremy Cameron. Not gonna lie, Brian Myers has lost a bit of his aura since he got rid of the dreads.
He's lost what?
A bit of his aura since he got rid of the dreads.
Become a better player though.
Yeah. Suppose I don't know, his challenge is he's in at Pendlebury back then.
True. Jai Cully had horrendous dreads.
Yeah. I didn't even recognize him when I saw him lately and he didn't have dreads.
He's actually like not a bad looking kid. Like he's just like normal, nice looking guy. Like he had the dreads and you're like, oh.
It's just the white man dreads don't go well.
Yeah.
My dad when I was a kid had dreads.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's funny. You gonna follow in his footsteps?
Definitely not. I'll stick with the mullet as for now.
Yeah, nice, good choice. My dad had a mustache for like 15 years, so I'm 1 year in. Got 14 to go.
My dad's told me just unshaved beard.
Oh yeah.
These days.
The Star Wars game on 360 is legendary because I'm Han Solo. What's the Star Wars game on 360?
Surely that's not what's it called? The dancing game. I'm just thinking of the dancing game.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo. Yeah, the Jasons were like, oh, yeah. Was that on the 360? Yeah, right.
I feel like it must have been because that would have been the Kinect thing.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, that is what he's referring to. There you go. That is funny. I played the Revenge of the Sith game over and over again. That was fun.
Probably I played it's one that is a new one, but the Fallen Order game.
Oh yeah,
that one.
I bought that and I only played like a third of it. I think I got Korriban. Is that where Maul's from? I got to that planet and I was like, it's too hard, so I gave up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like very much like the Dark Souls kind of style game. Difficult. I got through it because I'm not a pussy, but whatever.
Yeah. I had content to make, bro. Probably. Or I just switched back to my FIFA career mode.
Man, the whole saga with the AFL 23 has been hilarious. But they've only just like talked about like what's it called? Had a trailer come out for the Ultimate Team thing.
Did they?
Yeah, but it looks shit.
Oh no.
Hollands.
The Dutchman. Dathomir. Thank you, Darth. I should have known you'd know your Star Wars, Darth.
It's been so long since I played that game. Other than that, it would have been like the Star Wars Lego games.
Oh yeah. Revenge of the Sith official game was actually pretty dope. And geez, this is going back, showing my age. But in like 2000, I had the Phantom Menace computer game. That was actually pretty fun too.
I wasn't even born yet.
Damn.
Fuck you.
I sunk some serious hours into that as a kid. It was good fun.
How old are you now?
30.
30. Wow.
I know. No spring chicken.
How's the arthritis?
Yeah, really bad in my right wrist. I have no idea why.
I say that I'm definitely getting arthritis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RSI.
Probably. Yeah. I used to like pull my finger, like crack my knuckles a lot as a kid. Plus my grandmas have really bad arthritis. But what you gonna do?
Yeah. He's right. The Revenge of the Sith game came out before the movie. I forgot about that.
Wow.
I don't think it spoiled it. Yeah, I do remember that. That's crazy. No, I also that was also the case with one of the Deathly Hallows Harry Potter games. I was a bit of Harry Potter fan back in the day. And I remember playing Half-Blood Prince. I played Half-Blood Prince actually before I saw the movie. That did spoil it too.
I see. So you were transphobe as well.
That? Oh, yes, those things go hand in hand, obviously.
Yeah. No. But for real, fuck J.K. Rowling.
I haven't really delved too much into that. I saw one YouTube video explaining what happened, and I was just like,
yeah,
you know what? It's kind of a little bit like the Michael Jackson. It's like, I'm not going to let it ruin the creation, you know, because
it's like it's fair enough. So fair enough. It's like, yeah, no one's actually saying that if you enjoy Harry Potter, you'll do that shit. Yeah, that would be a bit much. I was used to think about like people buying the Hogwarts game and stuff like that, but it's a bit of like you can't really do anything about that. Millionaires are always going to be millionaires.
Yeah,
you can't buy coffee without exploiting someone. To be get serious.
Pat makes a good point. Harry Potter, the book came out. You're right, and I did read the books, but the book, the game was very closely modeled on the movie. So, like, what was going to be in it, like, it still spoiled it a little bit. But you're right. Ralph says you could have the alternate ending in the Revenge of the Sith game. Yeah, that was sick. So you had one level where you're Obi-Wan defeating Anakin, and then there was like the last level was you fighting as Anakin beating Obi-Wan. Then there's a cutscene at the end once you've beat Obi-Wan where you go to the Emperor and you've killed Obi-Wan, you've killed the Jedi, and he gives you your lightsaber and then you stab Palpatine with it. Weird, but cool.
Makes me think of Sekiro. Similar thing happening. No one Sekiro the game.
Oh, okay.
No one's going to understand the reference, but something that happens. One of the endings. But there's a whole thing. I still find it hilarious what happened with Snoke in the new Star Wars movies.
Hilarious.
They build him up and then just like, oh, he's dead.
I know.
That's funny.
See, I didn't like that either, but at the end of 8, I was like, I dislike this, but there's still a chance they make something cool out of it. And I was wrong. They did not. It was
they just went like, okay, we killed the bad guy, and we didn't think about something cool to do. Let's bring back the other bad guy. It could have been really cool if they just actually made something interesting, did something interesting with it. You know, make something like Carlo be kind of the bad guy, but he maybe comes back or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, just no Palpatine again. How's he back? I don't know. He's back.
All 3 of those films, I will say, I walked out of the cinema at the time, each time, and I was like, that was sick. And then I later digested it, and I was like, that was terrible. Like, when you consider the plot, it was so bad.
It was just the, what's it called? So I guess the Empire did strike back.
Yeah, awful.
I definitely think I think episode 9 is the worst, though, to be honest. Just because they just like had nothing to creative to think about.
Yeah,
I think
just kind of like
it has a lot of flaws, but like at least it was trying to do something.
Yeah. Well, so as far as I'm aware, they originally had 3 different directors, and then I think Colin Trevorrow got dismissed, like he got sacked or something, or he walked away for the 9th one. So they brought Abrams back, but you had 3 different directors telling 3 different stories.
Yeah,
and
they definitely messed up. They should have had like a whole plan from the whole start, with like one creative kind of idea. I don't think I don't think it was a bit of like people hated episode 8, and so that made I think they might have came into like episode 9 being like them trying to be a bit more safe.
Yeah,
like Palpatine.
Yeah, ironic. Well, that was the safe option. But there's a script on YouTube, on Wikipedia, or a description of a script that Colin Trevorrow originally wrote. It's called Duel of the Fates. It's actually not bad. It's better than what we got. So if you type in Wikipedia Duel of the Fates original script, you can read it and you're like, that's not bad. It's not bad.
To be fair, the only part of the episode 9 that I really liked was just not even nothing to do with episode 9, but it's just like a video on YouTube. But it's like a scene like where Kylo Ren becomes like Ben Solo, where he's like running around and like being kind of like Han Solo.
Mm-hmm.
He's
right.
doing that sort of stuff and just shooting everyone in the movie, which he does. But it's just set to "I Need a Hero" by Bonnie Tyler from the film.
57 points now.
John fucking suck.
They do.
Yeah, stinky.
Do we give them one more chance because of this is after the bye? I don't think so. I think they might be washed.
Yeah. Too old, some would say.
Well, they've returned to the form that people expected this year. It was now we're looking at the 7-0 as the outlier.
Yeah.
Who do they beat? Let's go back and look.
I was just thinking of that. Like, were they actually good opposition?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Didn't play opening round. Round 1, they beat the Saints 8 points.
Shit.
Then they beat the Crows in Adelaide. Shit. Then they beat the Hawks, who were shit at the time. That's 3 of the bottom 5.
Yeah.
They beat the Dogs in Adelaide. Better, but the Dogs
are up and down.
Yeah. They beat North, albeit heavily.
It's North, to be fair.
Yeah, their forward line as well.
Like before their win, their average margin was like negative, like 40 something.
Yeah. So I'll give them credit for beating the Lions at the Gabba. I know the Lions also started shit, but they beat the Demons at the G the week before, and I still give them some credit, but nothing incredible. They did beat Carlton, so that's probably the one. They've beaten Carlton by 2 goals really this year. So
Brisbane been weird because like last year, like obviously they didn't lose at all at the Gabba, and this year they lost their first 3 games there.
Yeah, I think it was 1 game in 2 years they lost there. Yeah, crazy. There's been some big scores in the last couple of weeks. Even the Saints scored 100. That's true. I wonder if it's opening up a little bit now. I think seasons usually start a little bit more conservative.
God, I miss when fan camps was fun.
Yeah,
the Blues fan camps.
Oh yeah.
When they're up and about, it's just not fun. I just love like when they have receipts before the games, and then they lose, and then they have to, those receipts get brought up. Like there's one of those things in the Blue Board thing, like they're almost Bruce brothers or whatever.
Oh yeah,
some guys come up there, like they were saying some shit before the Collingwood game.
Oh, before the Collingwood game, yeah.
And there was like something about them being like really cocky and shit like that, and just didn't come up, and just that got brought up again.
Yeah.
Apparently they're off Twitter now.
They're off Twitter?
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost Blues Brothers. I think I saw something like that. What's been going on with this Supercoach in fantasy? Bloody Tom Nakonin, 176 Supercoach. That could end up being the top of the highest score of the year. What is it, sorry? That could be this could end up being the highest score of the year for an individual player.
What is it though? Sorry,
176. Supercoach.
Is that TDK?
Yeah.
Walsh 109 on fantasy. Holmes 102. Dempsey 90. Not bad. For a player I nearly traded out, Dempsey getting 90 is a good result. Trips with clearance. TDK 50. Is it effective? No.
Just so people, if anyone does fantasy Supercoach, a good website for like a good tool to use is called DFS Australia.
Oh yeah, I've been using that.
Yeah, they've had some really good.
But I actually only use it for what do I use it for? DFS. I actually use it for center bounce attendances.
Yeah, I use that for center bounce attendances too.
Yeah, I actually use that more in my Eagles content.
Yeah. They actually do. Like I'll have a look every week for captain options.
Yeah.
For they have like defense versus matchup.
Yeah.
It tells you which teams are easy to score against for which position.
I put so little time in my fantasy team in comparison. Like I don't do anything. I just like, this looks good.
I don't really focus much on fantasy.
Yeah.
That somehow ended up being my better format.
Yeah.
Everything Supercoach that's gone wrong this year has gone wrong. It's my worst Supercoach season by far.
He asked if Brisbane don't choke round 1, do they fall off? That's a good question. You can see why it would be a very deflating result, that first game, opening round.
My 4 line's pretty decent. Fantasy.
Oh, yeah?
I've got Zorko, Heaney, Fisher, Flanders, Caldwell, and Moore. It's not too bad.
Pleased to see Hutchinson's playing again. Thought he might get dropped. I got him in fantasy and he appreciated by 3,000. 200 to 203K.
I bloody had to trade in a Port rookie first gamer because I needed someone cheap. I forget his name though.
Yeah, I need to make some changes. Buy rounds throw me so bad.
Logan Evans. That's who I brought in.
Yeah, I know the name, but couldn't tell you anything.
Mid-season draft, I think. Kynan Brown for Melbourne. Traded in Merritt this round. It was either going to be Merritt or Fisher. Went Merritt because it's cheaper.
Yeah. He says, do you think Brisbane make finals on the Hawks? I think I did my mid-season ladder prediction. I had the Hawks in. I think I had the Lions.
I think Brisbane make it and Hawks don't.
Yeah, I can understand that. As I said it out loud, I knew it was questionable. But, Kerno, another goal. How many has he had?
At least maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'd say 4 to guess.
5.
Is it really 5?
Yeah, he's probably going to lock up the Coleman at
Yeah.
this rate, with especially
Doesn't
Ben
even feel like
King
he's
injured.
super impactful, but probably because the rest of the team's playing well.
Yeah, like Ben King's injured, so that's probably.
Oh, is he? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it was talks about him possible ACL. It's not.
Fuck.
Like
when did that happen?
Like last week, earlier this week.
Oh man, I missed that.
Yeah, it was like he went down to training. Apparently, like it was something to do with knee. It's not ACL, which is thank God, but that would be almost season over for Gold Coast. You would have thought.
Yeah. Do you think every team should have a week off at the same time rather than that? No, I probably like the staggered buys.
I think they need to be measured out a bit better than they are.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Especially opening round.
Yeah.
I hate opening round.
I agree with you, Darth, about Cully not being dropped. I think he probably should have stayed in over Hutch. Agree with that.
What's your ins and outs?
We dropped Harry Edwards for Rotham. Bit more of a.
I confused. I figure is your Edwards. Which one's which?
Harry is the talkie back, so he was the one that's dropped. Luke is the wingman who is going to be in the waffle.
Yeah.
Alan came in, but we didn't drop another tall. Who else came in? Oh my God, why am I struggling? Cully came out, so we'll say Alan for Cully. Someone will beat me to it in the chat. Why am I struggling with this? I looked at it this morning.
Hunt, Allen, Brockman, Rotham for C.
Thank you.
Edwards,
So Hunt came in.
Gaff.
Hunt for Gaff, Brockman for, well, maybe Cully technically, but then
Cully,
Allen.
yeah.
Fuck. Oh, Sheed. Sheed was the injury.
Yeah. Are we really losing much there with Sheed?
No, I kind of hope he comes back through the waffle, considering we've got Kelly and Reed back next week. It's a good excuse to say, sorry, Sheed, you can line up for the Beagles.
I'm just happy. I'll be happy with him, the waffle. So I can just point and laugh. Make me feel a little bit better. Even though I don't really. His goal makes me feel nothing now.
Yeah.
It used to hurt me a little bit inside every time I saw it.
Mm.
But now I feel nothing.
Yeah, I have no concerns about 05 or 15 for us because we won one not long after both times.
I know there was like this huge meme on the AFL Reddit where like they would have like a close alternative angle of a goal.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be like the alternative angle, and then halfway through it would just cut to Dom Seed.
That's hilarious.
Like we did for the Jamie Elliott fucking goal, like after the siren goal.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think Collingwoods have done that. I think that one there was like alternative angle, but it was cut to side bottoms goal in the grand final.
Yeah.
Yay, Blues win. I definitely don't.
Maybe another player who's kept his spot in the team due to one kick 7 years ago. Yeah, I mean, part of that is just like not really drafting any good midfielders since Sheed, really. Fucking crazy. We traded in a couple like Kelly and Redden, but we just haven't really had anyone pushing him out until now.
Couldn't agree more, hee. I hate this lot.
Yeah, biggest bunch of bandwagoners. Well, they've done their time. They've done their time in Azkaban.
I think it's definitely like, even though like last year when they had their start to the year, like they had an awful start, and then like people were like calling in, losing their shit, and like breaking memberships and stuff like that, burning scarves, and then all of a sudden when they came good, like, oh, I never had any doubts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think all fan bases have that to an extent. I've been saying it as well on my True Eagle channel. I'm just like, it's actually interesting. Sometimes you hear from these guys who hate the club and like roasting us and are pathetic. It's amazing how many of them just go quiet when we start winning.
Yeah.
I've seen it on Big Footy. There's people who only come in when our team is deplorable and there's criticisms to be made. But that's fine. But like, if you then go dead silent and nobody hears from you when we're winning, like, who the fuck are you? It's weird.
You might as well be an opposition fan at that point.
Yeah, I think it's just human nature. Some people just like to have that relationship with their own football team. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I think I did see there was a promo for this game. It was like, what changes like one draft can make, how their fortunes have changed from one draft. It's a draft with Curnow and Mackay, that draft.
Yeah,
huge. I think. But I also think like I thought all the comments on the tweet of it was like, what fortunes? They've won one final since then. Or when they actually win something.
Yeah, true.
I think it's like that's definitely like there compared to our 2014 draft was that was more to go in Maynard and Cox as a rookie.
Did you also trade in Crisp that year?
Yeah, Crisp was that year too.
2005. Did you get Daisy and Pendlebury?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a big one.
I think Daisy Thomas was the what I forget what it's called back then. The compensation. What did North get last year? I forget what they're called. As a pick. Priority pick, yeah.
Yeah.
They used to give priority picks out like they were nothing back in the day.
I know. Those were the glory days. But now, I think now as well, we got like academy picks and free agency compensation and dilution of drafts. It's a little bit more.
Plus, like back then, like they put a lot less effort into like the actual draft.
Yes. Yeah. But like if you were say a bottom two team and you both got priority picks, you'd be like, okay, so that balloons. That becomes pick 19 and 20, and then the next round starts at 21, and you just knew what it was going to be. And now, like, even without priority picks, I think, or with one, West Coast first pick of the second round was pick 30. Like, it's just it's just diluting the draft too much.
Yeah,
but I can see why it's difficult, but yeah. He says we have more of an attendance than they did in 2018. Wow, I didn't know that.
Man, people talk about Hawthorn, about them tanking early rounds.
Well, even I must admit, I cheekily, not fully seriously, but I was like wondering it last year when they got rid of like Mitchell and O'Meara, and Harley Reid was the best number 1 pick ever. I was 12 months out. I was like, does Hawthorn like know that this is the generational talent? They're just like, whatever will happen. And part of me wondered they saw how bad North and West Coast were. They were like, fuck it, let's just start winning.
And I'm with you so much, Graz. I miss that too.
Wooden Spoon Data's in the chat. Welcome, mates. I miss Carlton being bad. That's funny.
To be honest, I think them being good could be just as good. Because it means just the bad when the bad comes, it's even worse for them. I say that I don't really like. I really don't like when people like see people like fully upset and like be like laughing at them. It's like be upset.
Yeah,
like it's when they're like going a bit angry and like losing their minds is when it's like when it's funny when teams lose.
Yeah.
When they're actually like upset, like just leave them alone.
Yeah, that's true. I think as well, like if they build it up beforehand and then come crashing down, like that's when it's funny as well. Which is probably why like I don't hate North fans at all. There's no rivalry there because there's no like attitude from them, even though we're the bottom 2 teams. But I do remember when we were the bottom team with Melbourne fans right back then were super noisy and like, yeah, we got Scully and Trengrove, bro. And then it was just delicious when they sucked. Made all the difference in the world.
Scully was number 1 pick, wasn't he? Remember that?
Yeah, and Trengrove too. He was the priority
Jesus.
pick. And then Martin 3.
God, Melbourne did not draft well back then.
It's hard to know
how much is that like them drafting and how much is it like their development.
Yeah, there's got to be a bit of everything in there. But I remember thinking at the time Dusty was my favorite because that was the first draft I followed. I was like, yeah, get Dusty Martin. I didn't think he'd be this good, but yeah.
I forget his name, but there's maybe Jagger Stolbeck.
Yeah, the YouTuber guy.
Yeah, he makes he's had like a video about about Richmond getting Dusty.
He did, yes.
Came about like with Giants, something along those lines.
I think it's called How a Kick Cost GWS the Premiership.
Yeah.
And I can't actually remember how it all ties in, but I think it was the Jordan McMahon goal to put Richmond's above Melbourne or something like that. I think it's been a while since I watched it.
This is definitely like me being selfish and one more Collingwood videos, but I would love just like someone have like Jagger or like someone and really have like a deep dive on like just like Collingwood and like the close wins, the close, not necessarily close wins, just close games because like just over a third of McRae's games coached are close games.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's true. It's like crazy
how that's came to be and like how they do it and stuff like that.
Yeah, true. Wooden Spoon's asking, is this my mate that plays footy in the UK? No, different guy.
No. I haven't played footy in years.
Yeah.
I could have been pick 1, but I did my knee.
Yeah. What's that, sorry?
I could have been pick 1, but I did my knee.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I said that my uncle back in like the don't know when, but he was like he could have played. He was going to play for South Melbourne back in the day. Oh yeah, he did do his ACL. Like back then, if you did do your ACL, like you're done.
Yeah, true. Yeah, just permanent wheelchair.
Yeah. No, they actually
just did that kind of thing with super goals. So there you go. I think he's referring to the Collingwood video.
Only giving umpires to Casper and the MCG. No, he's not part of the club anymore. So that's not us doing it. That's an outside force.
Yeah.
Getting rid of Eddie was one of the best things we've ever done.
Yeah. True. Alrighty, mate. I might wind this up because we've been going for 3 hours now, and it's been good fun. I haven't decided if I'll do one tomorrow, but I probably will. So if you're around, by all means, all of you, but yeah, you as well, Rogie, for this if you want to do this. Should be good. I'm probably thinking D's North.
What time's the D's North?
I think it's the same time.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. I'll message you later about it. Yeah, cool. Thank you very much for your time, Rogie, and thank you everyone for in the stream. It's been good fun. Good to return after 13 rounds. But, yeah,
Guys,
thank you very
thoughts and
much.
prayers for Carlton being shit again.
I don't share that sentiment. I am unbiased, and yeah, cool. Thank you,
I'm
guys.
not. See you, lads.